Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to WeWatchedAMovie. I'm Mike, and I have headphones in, and I'm listening to music, so I might be yelling right now. No idea. No clue. My wife will tell me. How are you guys doing? What's up? How do you like that, Tomo? On time. On the second. Like that. Like that. It's like John Travolta in Broken Arrow. It's like, you ever been knocked out? You know what it feels like? It feels like something's squeezing on your brain, and it feels like this. This John Travolta, Broken Arrow. That's where the Dewey theme came from. I have to turn this down. That's where the Dewey theme came from in Scream, Broken Arrow. How are you guys? How the hell are you? Scream came out. Scream 7 came out. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about all of it. We're going to talk about all the spoilers. And I just got some terrible, terrible, no good, very bad, awful news. Maybe. For Stu fans. Like myself. Stu heads, as the dude said in the opening to Scream 7. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll cover that as well. I hate it. Thanks, Kevin Williamson. I hate it, but we'll talk about it. But it could happen. I still believe. You can't stop me from believing. Hey, Heidi, welcome. First time. We call those biscuit boys. I don't know why, but we always have, because it's like your first time at church. They make you. I don't know. I haven't been in like 20 years, but like they make you stand up in front of everyone. And they're like, that guy's a sinner. That's what we do. But welcome, Heidi. Happy to have you here. Happy to have everyone here. That's true. Clinton, Tomo. It's the night of spoiling. It's the night of gays. Spoiling. Someone said it confused me. Confused me so much. I know. Welcome to my life. Simple plan. Welcome to my life. Whew. It's the night to let it go. To let it all out there. You don't have to be a Melissa Barrera freak to spoil a movie. Not tonight. No. We're going to spoil it for fun, because we've all seen it, hopefully. If you haven't seen it, I'm judging you right now for being in here. You get out of here. I'm just kidding. You can stay. For selfish reasons, you can stay. But you should still watch it. Let's be honest. Everyone's going to watch it. Even if they said they weren't, they're going to watch it. Oh, I'm going to pirate it. Okay. Whatever. Everyone watched it. I think we saw that everyone watched it, right? Have you seen the box office numbers for this thing? Woo-wee! You do not want to go in there. It's crazy. But yeah, we're going to all the spoilers. We're going to let the phones down. You be with the phone, dick! 100 million, dude. That's nuts, Jeremy. It's nuts! I saw it day one too, Michael. I ended up going to the Thursday opening showing. And that was the best part of the whole thing, man. That was so cool. Like, the theater, my local theater was packed. Every seat was filled. And you don't see that in my local theater very often at all. So it's pretty great. Yeah, Jay's obviously, I see you guys asked about Jay. Jay's obviously not here. He's not a Scream sequel fan past 2. So it's funny because he's like, I literally just don't want to, he said it in his own way, but what he was saying was, I literally don't want to bring the vibe down because I'm just going to complain, which I wouldn't have, like, I'd be happy to have Jay here, but I see where he's coming. He didn't want to go to the theater and watch that. But it's okay. It's okay because I have you. I may not get my customary blowjob afterwards like I do when Jay and I stream, but I'll accept your friendship and chatting in lieu of Jay's blowjob. That's what I get. But, it's going to be fun anyways. It's going to be so fun. I love doing these, and it's been a blast. This whole lead up to Scream's been a blast. You know what? This one felt weird. Like, it felt so weird, man, because, like, I feel like there's so much more information that typically comes out before the movie. So there's, like, all these updates. And I feel like we had, like, 4 updates. I don't know. Go, of course, back in the day when they were announcing David Arquette and Stu and everybody being back, there was some stuff. But there for a while, it was just so quiet. I actually was worried that the box office wasn't going to be great. Fuck me. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, right? But, yeah, man. What do we want to start with? I'll let you guys start the conversation because this is all about you guys. Yeah. Let's start with you guys. Johnny Keane, man. Kevin Williamson said Stu was dead. And you started with the bad news. I told you I wanted the good news first. I didn't, but yeah, I know what you mean. Thanks, Johnny, by the way. Did I say? He said, Kevin W. said Stu was dead in Esquire magazine today. It sucks. He said test audiences didn't like anything with Stu alive. So disappointed. So here's what I'm saying, man. Sitz's fail is playing in my headphones and it feels good. But I'll show you guys exactly what he said. And I hate it. But there is still hope. There's still hope. And I'll tell you why. So I put out a video today, right? And the video was titled, I think I know who the killer is in Scream 8. And I was laying in bed last night, naked. Not really. I can't sleep naked. The sheets give me a boner. It's weird. But I was sleeping last night and literally like opened my eyes and I was like, oh my God, that's it. And I'll be brief with you guys real quick. In my head, I was like, oh my God, Stu's going to be the killer in Scream 8. Because I was as bummed as you guys were when he's like, and Ethan Embry's like, and now Stu. And I was like, all right, that was terrible line delivery. Love Ethan Embry. I did not think he was great in this movie. And I love the movie. Didn't think Ethan Embry was great. And then it comes out, and obviously it's Anna Camp. But I thought to myself, oh, okay, is the Stu thing over now? It might be over now, you know? Is the Stu train going to come to a stop? And I was just thankful that we got Matthew Lillard in the role of Stu again. Like, I didn't get exactly what I wanted, but to see him on that phone and doing those, like, making fun of them the way he was doing, like when Gail would talk, I'm like, oh, really? He felt awkward, like putting those clothes on again. Like for a second, it felt awkward, and then he just jumped right into it. When he was like, "Oh, really? That's neat, because that matters school." Like just the way he talked and the inflection on his voice, so Matthew Lillard and so Stu, and it was perfect. And I'm just thankful, dude. Like I'm literally just thankful that we got to see that. So a bunch of people were like, "Ha ha, fuck you, told you Stu's dead." Not really, man, because like we got a lot of what I wanted. It's not exactly what I wanted, but I got to see him strap on Stu again, and it was fucking awesome. That being said, my belief is not over yet, and I'll tell you why. But first, the bad news. Kevin Williamson, and I think, I can't remember who exactly sent it, but I really appreciate it, sent this over in the comments of that video. My prediction, what I think, and I still think is that the ending of 7 set it up perfectly in Scream 8 for Stu to be the killer in Scream 8. And here's why. And again, I'll be brief. He may not, like the scene where they go to the psychiatric hospital, right? And they're talking and she's like, Stu's body didn't have an intake form. And also, the lady who takes the intake form died 3 years ago. Now, the killers could have stolen that, but that's just as difficult to believe as saying that they switched out the bodies or whatever, in my opinion. So everything that happened, they still gave a little bit more evidence that Stu could possibly be alive. And I didn't realize this, but somebody commented earlier today that when the car is pulling up to the house in the beginning, fuck, how good was that opening? We'll talk about that. Someone said that there was a Stu sighting. And they were talking about the party in Scream 2. But there was a Stu sighting. So that adds to it a little bit as well. My theory is that, and by the way, already almost 400 fucking people in here. That's crazy. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out tonight and talking. I'm going to get to every single one of your super chats and stuff, so really appreciate it. And also on Stream Elements, if you guys don't have the link, hang on, let me put it in there because you can do it easier on there. A lot of people already have it, but just in case you don't, I'll throw that in there. If you want to send your super chat to that YouTube taking 30%, you can send it to that link I just put in the chat. But what I'm getting at, if I'm saying anything, is that it makes so much sense that what if Stu still his death was faked, right? And for you, those guys who don't want to hear this, I promise I won't do this all night long. But just to get us there to the conversation that we're having, if they did fake his death and he is out there, they hinted at it, then it makes so much sense. After what happened in Scream 7, now he has a motive. Think about it. They went on live television and Gail called him a little bitch on live television. Sydney directly looked at him on camera and spoke to Stu because they thought it was Stu at that point. And not to mention the fact that the killer was using an AI version of his likeness, which if you're Stu, that has to piss you off. So now he has so much motive. If he didn't have motive to come out of the darkness before, Sydney into the darkness, out of the darkness, he does now. They called him a little bitch. Sydney called him out as well. And they're using AI to literally steal his likeness. So them making a Scream 8 that has nothing to do with Stu whatsoever, and then at the end of the fucking movie, him to be revealed, it's the antithesis to Scream 7. It's the exact flip. And I think people would love it. And I think they had it. I don't think they realized it. They had it in the tip of their hands. At that point, even Stu naysayers, I think, were in the audience going, all right, let's fucking do it. And Matthew Lillard proved to everyone that he could be Stu again, and it could work. So, to me, that says all you need to know. But then this came out. Kevin Williamson talks about Scream 7. And the main thing in this article, which it's an interesting article because let me scoot down here. He mentioned several things that happened that we didn't know. Specifically, all right, I'm getting to it here. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to get to the right place where it is. So he mentions, by the way, that the panic room came from him actually having a stalker after he wrote Scream 2, and he had to build a panic room in his house, which is scary as hell. It's crazy. But, and I mentioned that's where that scene came from. But, okay, where's the stew thing? Come on. Where is it? Okay, talking about AI. He says, I use AI as a research tool, but I'm also over it. I'm scared of it just like everybody else does. But he admits that, oh my gosh, sorry, I'm going to find this. I swear to God. Oh my gosh, where is it? Okay, here it is right here. And I'll zoom it up so you guys can see it a little bit better. All right. So instead of jumping the shark, you actually wanted to jump 10 sharks as far as Stu coming back. They said in the finale of Scream 7, the AI program makes the new killers look all like past killers. Laurie Metcalf, Scott Foley, brought them all back. And he reveals that Guy Busick is the one that came up with the whole AI concept. So, shit on my head and tell me it's raining. I assume that was Kevin Williamson. That was actually Guy Busick who came up with the genius idea to use AI to bring them back. Now, I would rather have it be Stu at the end for sure, but if you're refusing to bring it back that way, then the AI idea becomes genius. Because again, like I said, we got to see Matthew Lillard become Stu again, so that is genius. But that was actually Guy Busick's part, and he said, furthermore, if it is AI, will part of the audience be disappointed if that he's not real? We were playing that game, and I'd be lying if I said we didn't shoot it both ways. So that is official confirmation, and I think I said something along the lines of this in my review. Like, oh my God, they actually filmed an ending where Stu was actually flesh and blood alive. And I just want to go to the chat and look at you guys while you understand that in your brains. They filmed an ending with Stu alive, which is exactly what so many of us wanted. I'm not going to lie to you. When I was watching the movie, yeah, people spoiled it for me. I don't care. I didn't believe them, so it didn't bother me. I knew Stu wasn't going to be in flesh and blood the second that Ethan Embry's character told them, when they showed him the picture of Stu, and he was like, oh yeah, that's John Doe. He's been here for 16 years and he got hit on the head and forgot who he was and nobody knew his name. I knew Stu wasn't coming back in the flesh and blood in this film because that just doesn't make any sense. Everybody knows the Stab movies. Tatum's boyfriend knows word for word Billy's lines when he goes up to her window. So I knew for a fact there's no way, that doesn't make any sense. And if they do bring Stu back this way, it's going to be a problem because that's a huge fucking plot hole. So to be honest with you, when the reveals happened, as much as I wanted it to be Stu, I kind of in my heart knew it wasn't going to be. I've maintained for a while, I don't think they'll review him until Scream 8. I thought a Ghostface would get away and then they'd, reveal that it was Stu in Scream 8. But this actually proves here, it's on film somewhere. God, why do you do this to me? Alanis Morissette. Why? They filmed a fucking ending where Stu was the killer. And it was in flesh and blood, and he was alive. Fuck. We were this close, and some fuck-ass bitch test audience hated it. Allegedly. And keep in mind, just pause for a second. I had a bunch of people, like, hey, Stu's dead, let it go. And that's fine. If he's dead, I'm good. I got him in Scream 7. But just pause for a second. Let me just say, they already have their idea for Scream 8. Okay? This is not the death of the possibility of Stu coming back. They already have their idea for Scream 8. Neve Campbell came up with it while they were filming, and I bet you that she came up with that idea while they were live with Gail. and said, oh my gosh, we're basically calling him out. It'd be so funny if we got to bring back Stu in real life in the 8th movie. But that's aside from the point. Said, oh really? There was an alternate ending where Stu was really alive. And he nods and says, we shot a little coda at the end that we had in our back pocket. But oddly enough, the decision was that the audience wanted him dead. That's not fucking true, Kevin Williamson. I love you. You smell terrific. That's not fucking true. Test audiences told you that. It makes more sense. It's more real. If he's alive, that's a big stretch. We live in a world now where fake AI, we know that's possible. And there you have it. They fucking shot it, man. We were that fucking close. And some fuck-ass test audience was like, nah. Now, I do wonder. So there's a group of people out there who got to see Stu return as Matthew Lillard. Do you know how bad that pisses me off? Do you know what that does to me? Oh my God. That's insanity, dude. That's insanity that it actually happened. But that also tells me they already know their idea for Scream 8. They've already seen the response to it. From what I can tell, the response to Stu being alive was good, right? He did a great job. It played with the audience. A lot of the audience, even the people shitting all over Scream 7 right now, which we'll talk about, and that's fine. I didn't like the reveal either. But, like, everyone's problem with the movie was basically that they didn't pull the trigger, like Blade says. Sometimes you gotta pull the fucking trigger. I think most people's problem with the movie was that the reveal was a letdown because the lead up was so good. They did a good job bringing Stu back to fucking life. Apart from that one Ethan Embry moment where he said that he's been John Doe. Like they made it believable. The writing was, they had it. They fucking had it. All of our fucking dreams were right in our goddamn hands. They had it. It was fucking there. So, all right. Kiss my fucking ass. I made a video today and a bunch of people were like, oh my God, let it go. Stop the Stu grift. Bitch, they fucking filmed it. So you can say whatever you want. Even if it never happens, they were that fucking close. So suck my ass, ball. That's what I have to say to you. But I still believe they could do it in 8. And if they know they're going to do that in 8, of course that's what he's going to fucking say. Because it would be a great fucking... the reveal would be even better in 8 than it would have been 7 at this point. And you guys, again, you can tell me in the chat what you think, and you can argue with me all you want. That's great, but that's the news that just came out, and I'm butt fucked by it. So, craziness. I'll drink to that. There is footage somewhere of Stu coming back to goddamn life. So, I want to see it too. Dude, do you know how many people will buy that fucking... I don't want him to release it on physical media because, like, as much as I want to see it and I want to buy it, I don't know. He says that a test audience didn't like it. Apparently, they tested it to a bunch of fucking assholes, but maybe it didn't work. Maybe the reveal language didn't work. I thought Matthew Lillard was fucking great in everything that I saw him in. I just hated the way he turned off the phone, man. Did anybody else notice that? When he would be like, I was like, that's the only part of the performance I didn't like. Everything else was 10 out of 10. When he was making fun of the way they talk, like, oh, really? And he even said the lines, like, sorry you got canceled, you got fired from your job. And Gail, some people think this is a Scream 6, what do you call it? A shot at Scream 6. She goes, I didn't get fired. My contract didn't get renewed. There's a difference. And he goes, oh, so don't even care. Not even a little bit. It was great. It was great acting. He felt like Stu again, man. And shout out to Matthew Lillard. Not a lot of people can do that. We saw Dumb and Dumber 2. I still like that movie. But we saw Dumb and Dumber 2 and movies like that, Super Troopers 2. A lot of people can't carry their roles from so many years ago and do them again. And I thought he did a great fucking job. So, And again, Dr. Corndog's got a point. Some people think that the Stu in the beginning was Stu and the Stu later was AI or vice versa or whatever. But let's get to what you guys are saying about it. I'm yapping enough. Cheney says, love the movie, but since 4, the reveals and reasons have been so stupid, I would instantly tell the killers. No reason for the opening. Sid is all the way Indiana. Matthew is all the way Indiana. Matthew was real funny. What they did with him. And I agree. I like what they did with Lillard there. But let's look at the reveals, Cheney. And guys, let's look at the reveal. The first one, absolute classic, right? Amazing. And I guarantee when that came out, people complained about it. Some people did, at least. Scream 2, I was always kind of like, I love Timothy Oliphant, and there's a big difference here too. On one hand, you have who the reveal is, and on the other hand, you have the acting during the monologue. I think both those things matter. The reveal in Scream 2, I was like, it's Billy Loomis's mom. That's a little bit weak sauce, and it's Timothy Oliphant. Okay, but Timothy Oliphant specifically, the way he was over the top, made it. His monologue made it, and Billy's mom did a good job. She's got it going on. If you see what I'm doing there. Scream 3, Foley. I thought that was a little convoluted. It was like, oh my God, she had a brother the whole time. But going back over time, it got a little bit better. Scream 4, completely ridiculous, in my opinion. I know a lot of people love it, but like Jill, it's Jill and Charlie. Neither of them are physical whatsoever. And that Ghostface was picking up people and throwing full-size men through glass doors, and it didn't make any sense that it was either of them. So I was like, okay. Their monologue was better though. So that was okay. Scream 5, it made sense. It's the next logical step for you, dog. It just made sense that it was Richie. I'm looking for anybody seen Richie? Jack Quaid and Amber. I think they both did a good job. And if anybody's going to ask me my ranking tonight, I don't know it yet. And the reason I don't know my ranking yet is because I have to go back and watch Scream 5 again. Because I'm struggling with my ranking because there's 2 movies that I can't decide on. And I got to rewatch Scream 5. I can't tell if I like 5 or 7 better. And I like them both a lot. But I can't tell which one I like better. I got to rewatch 5 and then decide. But 6, the reveal, yeah, kind of weak sauce. But I loved Dermot Mulroney's over-the-top reaction to everything. The other 2, what the fuck ever. And then the reveal in this one, honestly, I love the fucking movie. It could be the worst reveal of all. And it's not... I don't think it deserves as much shit as it's gotten. Because, like, I understand when you look at Anna Camp and her reasons... Jessica and her reasons, and Ethan Embry Ethan Embry should have been perfect for this, and I just don't think he brought it for whatever reason. Like, I love him as an actor, and I just thought his performance maybe he just didn't have the right lines, it just didn't work, but it was really lackluster. And there's some stuff to her reasoning. Her acting was good. Like, her acting was good, nice over the top type of stuff, but like I was a little lost for a second. It's like, okay, you did it because of why? Could you tell us at some point? And I just don't think they translated that good enough. But you're right. To answer your question, you're right. Like, the reveals haven't been great, and that's why they should fix it with Stu. That Ghastly Ghoul gifted 1 WeWatchedAMovie membership. Thank you for doing that. And by the way, Jay and I have commentaries for every Scream movie on Patreon and membership if you guys want to check those out. Zachariah Justin, thank you, buddy. Handsome guy right there. I love the toboggan. I wish I could pull it off. My head's too big. Sometimes I still try. Winning says, Scream 7 rants from me all night. Hashtag, get it up, baby. Get it up. I've been waiting to do that all night. Thank you. Zachariah says, I'm officially Abyss Boy. Welcome, sir. Step to the front of the class and tell us your favorite color. I don't know. Nightwing says, change 3 things to Scream 7 to retool. What would it be? Great question. Great question. I gotta switch this because the song playing in my headphones is Godsmack. They have a couple good songs, but like, it's not the right mood. 3 things with Scream 7 to retool what it would be. Well, the ending. I definitely would have had it be Stu. That's the biggest thing. And I just think that would have fixed so fucking much. Like, that would have fixed so much. And then the second thing I would have fixed was the idea of him just being in a psychiatric hospital for 16 years. And he wasn't even that scarred up. Nobody knowing who he was. And then people aren't going to like this. Maybe they will. I don't know. I love Chad. I think he's a likable dude and he's very Dewey-esque. I would have removed Chad and Mindy completely. Once they entered the picture, the story kind of splintered a little bit for me. And the reason why is because Gail comes up with this fucking one of the best entrances in any movie ever. Entrances in any movie ever. And that was all awesome. And I like Chad a lot. Minnie gets on my nerves. But like, they're sitting there in the living room with Tatum. And just that whole conversation just felt weird to me. And then she's like, well, I want to do something. I want to help. And It's not weird for her to want to do that, but for them to just be like, okay, we're going to take Sydney's daughter away from the police chief to a bar, and they thought that was a good idea. And then the conversation and the kills and stuff was good in the bar, but I just thought them being there and them being the reason for it just didn't work. And then for them to both show up just for him to get stabbed and her to get slashed in the stomach again and fall on top of each other and again show up at the end of the fucking movie just unscathed and just fine. I fucking hated that. You know what I mean? Like, I did not like that at all. You could have taken them out of the movie completely, done everything that you did, and you could have spent some of that time working on Tatum's friends, and making their characters matter a little bit more. Even if you were going to kill them, you could have spent more time with them, getting to know them, and killed them. It didn't need to be spent on Mindy and Chad. You could have gone completely away from all that. So, you know, that's just kind of where I'm at with Mindy and Chad. That's how I feel about it. It makes sense to me, but those are the things I would have changed. But other than that, like literally, other than the ending of the movie and that, I pretty much fucking adored everything about this movie. Honest to God. Colt Seaman, he's a man of the sea, not the other thing. I don't know. Saw Lillard, Ulrich, and Arquette this past weekend, and all of them are really, really cool. And Scream 7 was fun. Even though the sequels are okay, Scream 1 supremacy. Have a great night. You're goddamn right. And by the way, there's over 600 people in here right now. I am very humbled by that. Thank you guys so fucking much for giving a shit what I have to say. But it's really about you guys and what you guys are saying. That's what's making the night roll on. So I appreciate you. And I agree. I never, ever expect any movie to be better than Scream 1. In the Scream franchise. I don't ever expect it to happen. If one of these sequels is better than Scream 2, I will shit my pants. My highest hope was that this would be number 3 under Scream 2. And it might be. I got to think about it. When it's all said and done. Robin Barker, thanks buddy, says 8.5 out of 10. First hour and 40 minutes was some of the best Scream material since 3. Thank you. But once that Ghostface reveal happens, the movie goes off a cliff. And like, I agree, but I also don't. So I agree that the fact that the reveal was them and that the reveal was so convoluted. Yeah. But I think we forget something here. Right after the reveal's done and the disappointment has wafted over us, like me when I came out of my mother and they saw me, once the disappointment wafted away, the fight scene between Neve Campbell and Anna Camp was fucking dope. Like, that was intense. Am I wrong about this? I don't feel like anybody's talking about this. Like, the fight scene between Sid and Jessica was really good. Like, it was violent. It was well filmed. It lasted the perfect amount of time, and there was a lot of stabs in it. That shit was fun. Did you guys like them John Woo double shooting Jessica's face off? And I knew this. I fucking knew this, dude. I said this in my review. And I thought to myself, people are probably thinking I'm just blowing the movie or whatever. But there's a line. You can go back and look it up. I won't go find it and take the time to. Someone asked Kevin Williamson about the beer tap kill. When Ghostface lifts him up and puts him on top of the beer tap and it goes through his head. And then the tap, his mouth is open and it starts pouring the beer out. And it's mixed with blood and it's really actually gross, but it's also funny. And it's over the top. I said in my review that, like, the meta stuff in here is actually kind of hidden. The fact that dumbass kill happened, and I liked it, but it was dumb. It was silly. But the fact that kill happened and Anna Camp's face literally sliding off because they shot it so many times while standing next to each other like Lethal fucking Weapon. Literally in a Lethal Weapon 3 garage, by the way. I said to myself, this movie's going... I could hear Randy in my head... And look back at the review, I said this. I can hear Randy in my head going, it's the 7th movie in a franchise. Of course you got to do some silly shit like that. In this fucking Esquire article with Kevin Williamson, he says that during that beer kill, I'm paraphrasing, but he kind of felt West in his head going like, it's the 7th movie. You know, it's the 7th movie. We got to do some silly shit. I think that's what he said. I could be paraphrasing a little more than I thought, and that's exactly what I thought when I saw it. And listen, when I'm going to say this statement and it's going to get completely fucked up and confused, but I think this movie is, it's not perfect, and I agree with people that it's not perfect. But the people that really hate it and loathe it versus a lot of the people who really love it, I think this movie was made specifically for Scream fans. I think hardcore Scream fans, and I'm not saying you're not a fan if you didn't like it, hear me out. But I think hardcore Scream fans can grab some nuance and some stuff that they did that reminds them of the older movies without the movie telling them that. And that's why they liked it a little bit more. Now, that being said, you could be the biggest Scream fan in the whole world and hate this movie. And I'm not saying that that's not true. I'm just saying that's where my love of it comes from, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Sorry for fucking waxing philosophical for so long about that. Michael Parton, Anna Camp is the worst ghost face ever. Is she? I'd actually argue that Ethan Embry's the worst ghost face ever. Or Jack. Jack, the son. Dermot Mulroney's son. Or Anna Quinn. I'm getting everyone's names wrong. I don't think it's Anna Camp, though. But definitely not in the top half of the list, my friend. Winning says, what if not all the stews weren't AI? What if not all the stews weren't AI? I've heard that. Because he looks so different. I think, dude, that the reason Stu had so much makeup on in the beginning is because they really wanted us to believe it. By the time we got to the house and you see cleaner face Stu, he was basically saying, yeah, it's not me, you know? So they were like, why take all the time to put all this makeup on him if he's admitting it's not him right now anyways? You know, he's not trying to trick anybody anymore. So, you know what confused me at first, though? When Tatum gets in the car with Billy Loomis, Gen Z Billy Loomis, and she sees on his computer that he has all these deepfake AI deepfakes of him as Stu, and he's like, Boogat, and all that shit like that. I literally thought to myself, oh my God, he is the killer. Holy shit, that's crazy. He got himself busted with his laptop, and she breaks his nose. And they never really explained that. Did anybody else notice that? They never really explained why Billy Loomis Jr. Didn't have why he had that on his laptop. If he's not one of the Ghostface killers, why does he have all that deepfake AI on his computer? So I think it's just because he was dicking around with it and trying to figure out if it was possible. And he started having way too much fun and an embarrassing amount of fun with it. And he just didn't want to admit it to her. But it's still odd, like you said, that it was on his laptop, you know, still kind of weird. So I thought that could have been explained a little bit better as well. Like, yeah, he was just practicing. I guess that's what it was. But yeah, exactly. He got brutally murdered before he could ever argue. So I guess that's what it was. And obviously Anna Camp's son dying was a huge mislead. Because I saw that and I was like, well, it can't be her, right? Because her son died. And then she's like, he was just like his dad. And I was like, that's actually a pretty good cover, honestly. Honestly, it's a pretty good cover. Here's Johnny says, I don't know, I think Stu burned down the house. Possible. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like, was there any moment where either of the official Ghostface ever admitted to Woodsboro? I'd have to go back and double check it. But I'm pretty sure that during the monologue, no one said, hey, I went and burnt down that house in Woodsboro. Tell me in the chat. I'm not wrong about that, right? I don't think anybody took credit for the house in Woodsboro. Yeah, they never brought up the house. That's what I thought. So it could have been somebody else. Now, I have heard this complaint. Stacy said the house burn didn't connect at all. It actually did connect because the killers were trying to make everyone believe it was Stu, right? So the killers are trying to make everybody believe it's Stu. They burned down Stu Macher's house. It adds to their case. Not just that, but you heard Gail say, she's like, what are you doing here? She's like, everyone and their mom went to Woodsboro when this happened, but I knew better. I came here. It could have been a diversion to get the police, the FBI, because we know the FBI has been involved in the Ghostface stuff. So I don't think it didn't count at all for anything, but you're right. It was a little loosey-goosey. So, oh yeah, Carl did it. A lot of people think Carl did it. And so Cheney says they did when they called her. But yeah, I thought it was a misdirection. And you're right, it wasn't the original house. It was the Airbnb. But it was in Woodsboro, apparently. They did say that. Hell yeah, Tyler. Geek bars. This is strawberry banana. I accidentally got a tiny one. I don't love the tiny ones. The Cure's on in my headphones. But hey, let's give it up for that fuck. Can we talk about that opening scene for just a minute? How fucking badass was that shit? Like, regardless of how you thought about the rest of the movie, that fucking opening was sick, dude. And I love, it was in all the trailers, but it always makes me laugh when the dude, he's like, it's a motion detector. Like, just the way that dude talks. Like, he could play a member of like Blink-182 he could play Tom in a Blink-182 movie. It was like, check it out, it's a motion detector. It's just the way that he said that shit. But dude, the lead up was great, and it's weird. Are they still going to do the Scream Airbnb? Because that's a real thing they were doing, right? So you can't say the movie's not meta, because it's meta as fuck in multiple ways, including that one. But it's a motion detector. But they they actually do that Airbnb. So like the fact that they, burnt that down. But the lead up was great. Jimmy Tatro, I love that guy as an actor. He's in a whole Netflix documentary about a high schooler who draws dicks on shit. And I like him a lot as an actor. He's perfect for Scream. But two things. It was hilarious that when Ghostface was pretending to be the motion detector thing, and they actually put their hand, Ghostface actually followed it. And it was so like early Ghostface where he was like actually being funny, because they go to test it and he's like, right before he stabs him. And then dude, the one of the best Scream kills in the entire franchise. So simple yet so beautiful. And I like 5 and 6 a lot. But this is the kind of kill that separates Kevin Williamson from the kills that were happening in 5 and 6. Because it's subtle and it's mean and it gets under your skin that in a way that just like gratuitous violence doesn't. When the knife goes in there and he twists it and then the eyeball fucking rolls. I've never seen that in a horror movie, dude. I have never seen that in a horror movie in my life. That eyeball roll when he did that was some of the coolest shit ever. That was so awesome. I loved it. It might be my favorite kill from the movie, even above McKenna Grace's kill. Now that kill was straight out of like Hostel, with like the torture-esque vibe of it and stuff. That was a really great kill and beautifully shot as well. But Kevin Williamson in that article said he was thinking of Stu when he made that kill, because he's like, we want people to believe it's Stu, and a character like Stu would make a very theatrical, over-the-top kill like that. And I couldn't agree with him more. Sounds like he's thinking about Stu to me. I don't know. Deep Red Pictures, thanks, buddy. Welcome to the suck, my friend. Dr. Corndog says Carl was the best. That dude was wild in the home invasion. I was judging the movie so hard and being picky, then the home invasion scene got me. Man. That was such a great scene. It really was. Was Carl just sitting up there with his hobo ass for like weeks? Because they couldn't find him on the security camera footage, right? Give me one of these, please. And they mentioned that, but Carl's hobo ass looked like he could just chill in someone's attic for a couple weeks. But I guess not, because he was also in the coffee shop. But Carl, who never had a single line of footage, and it's kind of smart how they did that too, because like creepy Rob Zombie looking motherfucker shows up in the little latte, just gives a quick like, I love coffee face. And he actually turns out to be a killer. Normally that'd just be a red herring. So that was kind of neat. Excuse me. But, dude, the invasion scene was so good, man. It was so good. I love the fight scene with Joel McHale, who rocks shit in this, by the way. It's like 40-year-old version. It's like, man, I always thought Matt Damon was kind of a Streisand, but he's rocking the shit in this one. Joel McHale absolutely crushed it. You weren't sitting there watching it going, oh, it's a guy from Community the whole time. Like, the character of Mark was his own dude. And I love how they threw in those little lines about like, oh, trust me, he can handle it. Like, he's a tough son of a bitch. Like, just a couple lines from other people talking about this character who only has a few minutes painted that character so well. And another thing in this Esquire Kevin Williamson article, he mentions that he basically says, thank you. He basically says that McHale's going to have, if they, and hopefully they will do future movies, he looks forward to fleshing out that character more. So you can definitely expect more of that character, I think, going forward. But dude, the fight scene was so good. The way that Ghostface snuck in the house. This was some of the best. This is some of the stuff that really felt like Wes Craven was directing. The way that the lights click out. He comes down from the attic, and granted it was in the trailer, but that part was. He comes down from the attic, and he comes across the corner with Tatum, and they have that moment where he's like, drop, and then they attack him. But the fact that he puts up a great fight against Ghostface, and then him and Sidney team up to fight this dude. And then he gets knocked out, and you got the whole in the wall scene, which was, again, it was in the trailer so much, it took some suspense away. Did you guys like the bat bending the knife? That felt unrealistic to me. I will take that away from it. Like when he's stabbing through the wall and she takes the bat and like pings it, it would have been cool, but I just felt like it was shot kind of unrealistic. Like there's no way, as fast as he was stabbing, it's definitely a smart move, Daniel. But it just felt, you're up against the wall, it's a little bat. It would have taken so much force to actually do that, and he kind of just held the knife there while she did it. Cheney said that could happen. So apparently a lot of you guys like that a lot more than I did. For me, I was like, that's a little hard for me to imagine happening, but it's a cool idea. But it was a great scene nonetheless. Even if it was in the trailer, it was still a great scene. The whole house scene was awesome. And the fact that it ends with them fighting again in the yard, and McHale and Ghostface have another really good fisticuffs. And then Nev's like, fuck it, I'm going to pick up a whole fucking birdhouse and hit your bitch ass with it. But I like that McHale got a final hit on him, knocks him to the road. And then when that SUV hits him, it's a shock to everybody. Kind of reminds me of in 2018, Halloween, when Michael Myers gets hit by the SUV. It was a shock, and we're like, oh my God. And at this point, you know what I was thinking. Cult of Ghostface, baby. Cult of Stu, get it up. That's what I wanted. That's what I was thinking. Because like, okay, Ghostface is dead halfway through the movie. There's more Ghostface. Cult of Ghostface. It's fucking Stu. Here we go. It's fucking on. It's happening. And then that's where the Let's Unmask This Fucker came from. And you know what? Here's the thing about Stu, by the way. They all believed it was Stu. If Sidney Prescott and Gale Weathers can believe it's Stu, stop telling me I'm fucking crazy for thinking Stu can be alive, all right? Because they made them believe it. So, that's what I'm saying. But no, the invasion scene was dope as fuck. 100% right, man. Michael Patan, the AI cameo surprises were a bit disappointing. I could not agree more, Michael. Did you guys think those suck shit? Like, not, apart from Stu. I thought Stu was great. But when she gets to the house, I love this movie and I love everybody who made it. I thought that was so lazy, dude. It kind of seemed like they just sent them an iPad and were just like, hey, film your lines. With Foley just kind of standing there like, hey, it's me, Sid. And then Mrs. Loomis, hers was a little bit better. At least she was in the house. But dude, the worst one, and I can't believe I'm saying this, the worst cameo was David Arquette. Like, dude, his hair wasn't even right. He didn't even have dewy hair. Like, and he was just standing there like in like a duck's head long sleeve, and he was like, hey, remember, don't you even love me? I'm your best friend. They just moved on. Man, I thought that was not great. That could have been done so much better. I was really bummed with that for sure. But the Stu shit was top notch. He did a great job, I felt like. Dr. Corndog said, did you notice the most females in Scream 7 were tall? Almost like they wanted to trick us because Mikey Madison's very tiny to be Ghostface in Scream 5. Yeah, and the shortest one, I'm guessing, is McKenna Grace. They killed her off early. The franchise, I don't like that they do this. That they have killers that couldn't actually complete the tasks that Ghostface does. I forgive it because I love the movie so much, but it's something I've never liked. I feel like it has to be, you have to have at least one physically believable Ghostface if you're going to pull off shit like that. So maybe it's an effort to try to change that. But yeah. Wendy said, wham, on weed. My wife's going to, yeah, my wife's going to be so mad at me. No, I just eat all the Oreos and then sleep too much. That's why I can't do it. You know what I mean? Guys, this is kind of weird because we've never done this before because it's usually me and Jay both and one of us will talk, but I really got to pee. I got to pee. So don't go. I'm a really quick peer. I'll be back in 2 seconds. All right. 2 seconds. I wish I had a video that I could play here when I'm gone. I'll just play this one for fun. It's only like 10 seconds long and then I will be back in like fucking like so fast. I'll be back so fast. Be right back. Gonna be. Is that a quick pee or what? Don't act like you're not impressed. Don't act like you're not impressed. You know, if you guys could have listened a little closer, you probably could have heard that. At least 20 people left. They're like, fuck this guy. I'm not waiting on him to pee. Oh, me. All right, cheers. I caught the neighbors whacking it in my tool shed again. I didn't wash my hands, but I just did this. That's how I peed. So I didn't have to. I just dangled it. You know what I mean? That's what men did in the service. I don't know what I'm saying. I apologize. I didn't touch it, all right? Stop with the hand washing. I always wash my hands. All right? Shut up. Shut up. All right. Let's see. Ryan! Though I thought the writing was atrocious. The series needs a new writer. The last 3 killer reveals have been bad. Kevin needs to write or find someone new. Like, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, I kind of, just to see what it's like. It's nothing against Guy Busick, but I was kind of thinking, I kind of want to see what Kevin Williamson does on his own with this next one. You know, just really find out. But when I found out that Guy Busick's the one that came up with the awesome using AI to bring them back, kind of owe that guy some fucking respect. But I agree. I think I don't know if it's the writing. I think it's the decision making. Like, I think the writing is good. And like, except for the reveal. Like, that's the one thing. Someone's got to come in and they've really got to like be like, all right, maybe we bring in another writer just to look at the reveal and really just feel it out. Because you're right. Scream 8 needs a great fucking reveal. The franchise is doing great. It's crushing it. We gotta get a good reveal in Scream 8. It's so important, I feel like. I can overlook it in this movie, but yeah, I agree. I totally want something fresh as well when it comes to that. Andrew Romano. Turnstile's going crazy in my headphones. What if they reveal the killer in the next movie as Billy Loomis as an ultimate fake out? I know he's clearly dead, but how crazy would that be? Like, yeah, yeah. I mean, you'd have to make it like his twin brother, you know? And that would be bad shit too. But you would literally have to make it, because I definitely wouldn't want to see them ever do the CG skeet. Oh, skeet. But like, if they had Skeet Ulrich today, I would love to see him choose scenery and pull that off. I'm not saying I would like the decision, but I would like to watch him do that. Michael Patton never listened to John Campea because he tore this movie the fuck apart and spoiled everything in his review. I've never seen anything like it. Damn. All right, listen, if you're going to spoil a movie without a spoiler warning, get fucked. Never been a fan personally. And you know, if you didn't like the movie, that's cool. A lot of people didn't like the movie, and I respect that. I don't respect people who didn't like it just because of the Palestine stuff. Actually, I shouldn't even say that. It doesn't even have anything to fucking do with Palestine at all. It's not connected. And I fucking Oda. All right. It was a studio that made a decision to fire someone. Nothing about seeing this movie has anything to do with any of that when it comes down to it at the end of the day. So like, I don't respect people who shit on this movie just because of political stuff. I think it's fucking ridiculous. Like, come on, man. Everything's political. Can we just watch a fucking movie? Christ. That being said, like, Yeah, never been a fan. I don't know what to say. Like, I thought he was dismissive and shitty to people about the Snyder Cut, and wrong. So, whatever. You know, don't spoil movies when you review them. I've noticed that with Rotten Tomatoes, dude. They will spoil the shit out of movies. Like, these professional critics. Like, recap the whole fucking movie and then actually give their opinion in a section this big. And you're like, damn, I could recap a fucking movie. Is that all you're doing? Shit, man. Dr. Corndog says, still laughing at the cultists in your other live stream spoiled that Tatum was the killer, and they plaster spammed all over your comments loud and wrong. Dude, a bunch of fucking people try to tell me that the opening of the movie was actually the end of the movie. They're like, and by the way, sorry to spoil it for you. Hashtag Melissa Barrera. Yeah, free Melissa. But the Ghostface setting fire to the house actually happens leading into the next movie. Boom, you've been roasted. What's up? Watermelons. Watermelon icons. Not fucking true. Totally goddamn wrong. John X Dragon says, hey, Mike, love your review on Scream 7. Thanks, man. Such an awesome movie. Sure, it's not perfect, but I left satisfied and happy. It's this Scream 5 I wish we always got. Tatum was a standout, of course, aside from Campbell. Dude, I thought Tatum was so good. Like, Isabel May was really good in this movie, and I knew she would be. Like, she won me over before the movie started, just in the marketing and stuff. I was like, she just seems like, in the same way Nev Campbell was, she seems really like level-headed and just like chill, like her own person, right? She doesn't seem performative, in my opinion, from what I've seen. And I was like, I really like the way that this girl carries herself. And I'm not surprised at all that I thought she rocked shit in the movie. And apparently she did so while dealing with a sickness and has not been feeling well. And so that brings up something else as well. She says she's going to work less this coming year because of what she's got going on. It's made it hard. And also Kevin Williamson said in that Esquire article that Netflix and Universal were nice enough to let him take time to work on Scream 7. And now he has to go work on a Universal Monsters TV show and some other stuff. So I don't actually know how fast Scream 8 really is going to get fast tracked. And if it is he going to be at the helm? It's more in question after reading that. I hope so. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. But I think Tatum was great. I can't wait to see what she does with the franchise. And man, I talked about this in my review, so you guys saw it, but can we just take a second? I cannot believe how fucking natural Nev Campbell felt in this movie, dude, as Sydney. Like, and I'm not lying to you. Like, it's the best she's been in the franchise since Scream 1, since the first Scream. I don't know if it's that they gave her more say on her character and what she was doing, but the conversations between her and Tatum, dude, they actually got me teared up a couple times. And we're not talking about like over the top emotional shit. It was emotional, but it was just the way they both fucking meant it so much, When she's talking about Tatum and why she named her that and stuff like that. Again, it's not like Iron Claw or anything. It's not like, we'll be your brother's dad. He's like, oh God. It's not like that, but just, it felt so natural, man. Like, it felt real. The DNA of Sydney was there. Like I said in my review, it felt like I'm watching flesh and blood Sydney Prescott today. I can't believe how much she knocked it out of the park in this. And if there was any damn sense to fucking award season, she would actually get an award for this shit. Because I'd call it most improved. From how she handled Scream 5, she wasn't even bad. But it was just like, hey, I'm here. I'm Sydney Prescott. What's up? Totally did what she was asked to do. And in this movie, she just fucking became Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Like, it was crazy to fucking see. Crazy to see. I don't know if we'll ever see that again. I mean, I hope we do, but damn. Winning. Could have saved the ending by having a real Stu call Sydney. What freaking nerd audience said they'd rather have Stu dead? Did they just call Jay? Yeah, Jay would have been like, no, make him dead. Make him dead. I want to know, like, on one hand, I want to shake those people's hands. They actually kept that secret. In today's day and age on the internet with Scream and shit, a bunch of people saw an ending where Stu was alive and the killer and didn't leak it to anyone. Who did you test screen? On the other hand, I want to smack those people in the face for saying they didn't like it. But then again, maybe it just didn't work. I still think it's a good idea. But if it doesn't play out the right way, maybe they saved that bullet for later. So it's hard to say, but yeah. A bunch of people I saw said this, like, dude, it would have saved the entire movie if after all this, Sydney's phone rings and it's Stu. And I agree. That would have been fucking awesome and everything I ever wanted. But also would have sucked all the surprise out of the next movie. You know? You're kind of doing the Halloween 5 thing when they're like, hey, let's just have a guy in a black hat and no real plan. And because it's provocative, it gets the people going with a Tommy gun and not really know exactly what you're going to do. Because if they didn't have an exact plan for how to use Stu in the next movie and how to end it, it could have blown up in their faces. But goddamn, would it have been awesome for this fucking movie. Ashley Johnson, thank you so much. I used to know a girl in middle school named Ashley Johnson, by the way. Fun fact. We were in band. I played the saxophone. Not well. I used to just make horse noises with it when I didn't know what to do. Well, Willie says, Stu has been alive and free since 2. He was working with Miss Loomis to avenge Billy and was the one who raised Derek's body before Miss Lewis walked in with Gail. And Dewey and killed Dewey in 5 and set fire in 7. Like, I'm with you to a point, but I see what you're saying. Like, he's been alive, but nobody knows he's alive, right? So he's been working with all these people. Like, hey, man, if you could set down a couple Adderalls and a pen in front of Kevin Williamson, and he can come up with that and make that fucking work, I'm your Huckleberry. I'm fucking all in on it. It's a tall order, but I'm fucking all in on it. Super crazy awful. Super crazy awful. Bear with me. If Stu does come back, what if we get to see Stu talking to himself? But from his perspective, he's seeing Billy like Sam did in 5 and 6. Okay, but Stu just being 666 viewers in here, by the way. Someone better leave or come. I think I'm going to come. I can see him being that batshit crazy insane, though. And Matthew Lillard could pull that off. He could do a Nutty Professor fucking crazy double impact type of thing. So I get what you're doing. Cheney, why just half gay? Bro, that Scary Movie trailer is so fucking good. So fucking good. And I think they're going to save us from our butthurt, always offended world that we live in. Scary Movie is going to fucking fix us all. The pendulum's going to swing all the way the other way thanks to Scary Movie. And we're going to cover that in more depth on Wednesday when we're live with Jay. Ben Elmet, Scary Movie 6 trailer's dope as fuck. Get it up, baby! I know. I fucking know, dude. It's so goddamn good. It's just so good. I never imagined it being that good. They're going to go all the way with this one. The second I saw her pull out a dildo and stick it in Ghostface butt, I was like, okay, I no longer have to worry about them pulling punches in this fucking thing. John Dragon says, when do you think we're going to get official confirmation on Scream 8? And what changes, directions, or locations would you like to see for the sequel? Bringing Neve Campbell and Isabel May back is a must. Totally agree. Cannot. Unless. Hear me out. The only way they don't do that, man, is if Kevin Williamson is forced to go do this other shit and Isabel May wants to take some time off. I don't think they'll do this because there's too much fucking money on the table. But if that's the case, there's always that Kirby side movie floating around out there. There's always a Kirby movie to be told. What do you guys think in the comments? Like, what would you think about that if they announced a Scream spin-off movie that was Kirby focused? Like, just really, esoteric and like focused specifically over here in this section, and it didn't really have anything to do with anything. And maybe because of some reason she couldn't even reach out to Sid or anybody else, and she had to deal with it alone. Because maybe they framed her as an FBI agent or some shit. Fuck, I don't know. Oh, what if Kirby discovers Stu's alive? Holy shit. Yeah, man, like, it's a possibility. I think we've already got confirmation on Scream 8. Like, they haven't said it yet. I think it could come in weeks. It's the kind of thing maybe they put out just to like be like, all right, ticket sales are starting to wind down. Let's ramp it up a little bit. Get our name back in the news for that last little push before it goes to renting for $20. Could be as soon as that, I think. Or fucking tomorrow, honestly. Winter, as far as changes and shit, winter Ghostface would be dope. Winter Christmas Ghostface. I've always wanted to see Ghostface in a white robe, talking about switching it up. You got to do it. You got to bang, bang, bang the drum. Ghostface in the winter would be cool. A Christmas Ghostface would be cool. College, I'm good with it if they do it, but it is a little too on the nose. Like, because, Isabel May's that age. She's going to go to college. It would make sense. And then Sid comes to help her. But is that just too on the nose for Scream 2? Is that too obvious? And can you really ask Sydney to take a back seat? Like, can you really ask Sydney to take a back seat after how much money this fucking movie made by focusing on her? I don't know if they'll do it. I think they'll have to do something to focus on Sydney again. I don't know. I think it'd be a huge risk to go focus on Isabel May in college. Unless she's there as well in some capacity. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I apologize for the awkward silence while I slurp a fucking drink down. But normally there's someone else here speaking as well. But I agree with you. Bringing them both back is a must. I still love the idea of a road trip. I love this since the last one. What if dude, what about fucking that? And another idea I had, if the killer's going to be Stu, and he just says, fuck it. It would be funny as hell to me and be really smart to pick up right where this movie left off. Mark's in the hospital. No one's gathered their shit together yet. And then all of a sudden another ghost face shows up. Right when, it's like when weather devastation hits and they're trying to put it together and another storm hits. They're all trying to pick up the pieces in this town and another ghost face comes out of nowhere. But this ghost face does not have his shit together. He's openly fucking up and killing people that don't need to be killed and almost getting caught several times and is just openly messy. Because how many times have they done this? Like, this ghost face is different. Or in this one, they're like, this guy knows his way around. He knows what he's doing, Like, in every single movie, it's like, he's a professional. Black Ops. Not in Scream, but I think it'd be a cool change of pace if you're like, this guy's really fucking messy. And that ends up being Stu, because he just got fucking pissed off and just decided to go to a Five and Dime and grab a fucking Ghostface outfit, drive down there and start fucking shit up with no plan whatsoever. I think that would be refreshingly different. From what we've seen before. But I also love the idea of a road trip Ghostface movie. It's something we've never seen before. The kids are in Denver. Sydney and the family pack up. Mark's injured. They hit the road to go pick up the kids. This way you don't have to explain the kids not being there again. And a Ghostface starts attacking them on the road. Hitchhiker style. And then you can actually tie it to the Hitcher movies. So you can be meta as fuck about different, road horror movies and stuff. That could be kind of dope. Give me the fucking writer's room, guys. My ideas aren't that good, but I can at least bring everyone coffee. Culinary Joey says, I predict Tara would kill off Stu in Scream 8. Oh, God. No. I love you, Culinary Joey. I'm not the biggest Tara fan. It's not that she was bad by any means. She really shined brightly in Scream 5 Cream, which kind of kept people from being able to appreciate Barrera, because I thought Barrera did a great job in both movies. People don't understand that about me because I make fun of the boycott kids so much because I think it's silly. But I've always, dude, I was a huge champion for Barrera after 5 Cream. I was like, dude, she had to deal with a movie with Sydney and everybody else in it, and people saying she's gonna be the next Sydney, and now she's worked with Jenna Ortega, who's fucking huge. It's got to be hard for her. I thought she did a pretty good fucking job, especially when she comes to life and stabs the fuck out of, Jack Quaid. But I don't. Scream 6, Jenna Ortega did not do it for me. That was kind of it felt like at that point there was just riding on what had been done before and how famous she was. Maybe that's just me, but I just didn't see anything special there for the most part with her in 6. Turlington, nice butt cheeks, man. Mike, why do you change your wiener shirt from earlier? I really enjoyed Screven. I don't know why that made me laugh so much, dude. But it was an unbalanced meal killer appetizer, succulent main dish, but for dessert we got a cookie with a cup of water. You're fucking funny, dude. But maybe it's the butt cheeks. I changed my wiener ride shirt because I went to the gym. And also, it's really short. I can actually only wear it in videos because it's super short. It's one of those video only shirts. Otherwise, it's almost a goddamn tube top. But I went to the gym and I had to change. What else did you say? You made me laugh too. I completely agree. First three fourths were just goddamn out of this world. You knew it couldn't last. Cheney, my ranking is Scream 2 first. Now I disagree wholeheartedly with all my heart, but a lot of people think Scream 2 is better than 1. Scream 1, Scream 4, Scream 7, Scream 3, Scream 5, 6 last. I can tell you this. My least favorite Scream movie is now Scream 6, and I enjoyed it. There's not a bad Scream movie, dude. There's still not a bad Scream movie in my opinion. I love every movie in this franchise, and it's not because I have to. I genuinely enjoy them. But 6 is definitely last. 5's a lot higher than that for me. So here's the weird thing, and I'm going to put up my ranking maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, but 3 for me, I used to shit on it until Scream 4 and 5 and 6 happened. But going back and watching Scream 3 now, and you have fucking all of them there together, and you got Nev there, and Cotton's even there in the opening with a great opening. Underrated opening kill. And the crew is together. Even though I don't like the whole... I thought most of the actresses and actors that were pretending to be them were pretty corny. And the kills were weak because the PG-13, because Columbine happened and all that. I just really enjoyed the main DNA of the franchise for the most part being together. And the ending was better than I remembered. And the opening was better than I remembered. So I'm way more fond of 3 than I was before those other movies happened. I think it's like 1, 2, 3, though. And not saying the third one's my third favorite. But I like 3 a lot more than I used to. And better than 4, I believe. So it's going to be interesting to re-rank those. Brandon Collins says, prayers for Bruce Campbell. He just announced on Instagram he has a cancer that's not curable. I fucking hate 2026. Dude, what the fuck is this year? Like, I feel like every year this happens, and we're always like, fuck 2024, you know. But specifically for, like, just, like, painful surprises, you know? And you can say it's completely surprises, but, dude, fucking Vanderbeek, that was heartbreaking. Considering the situation. Robert Duvall is an all-time great. Although he made it to 95, I think that's something you celebrate. It's like, fuck yeah, dude, 95. I'll take it right now. Give me that devilish deal. I'll take it. But still sad to see him go. Carradine, Bruce Campbell's not dead, by the way, but he does have cancer. But he said, I just read that, he said, it's treatable, not curable. So I hope the best for him. That's terrible to hear. But yeah, just... so far, dude, Jesus, like specifically shitty things happening this 2026 so far. Why did I say that twice? What the fuck is wrong with me? I gotta take another drink. Dr. Corndog says the fact that the home invasion Ghostface was pretty much a random dude was scary. That's why that Ghostface is my favorite. Dude was a real killer. I like it. I like your take on boobies. I fucking like it, dude. You're actually right. And he had a creepy face to it, too. We'll never know what was in that guy's heart and mind. You know what I mean? He'll never get to blabble about what the fuck his thing was. Someone should make a skit where he's just like, my name's Dad. My name's Carl. And I like cheese. They tried to talk to him and he was just like... But physically, Carl was a great Ghostface, dude. The way he, like, nodded his head no and, like, knocked all the pictures off the wall and was that, like, physically, respect for Carl. Good point. Cheney says, get rid of the bar scene and Mindy. Bar scene, again, it felt a little derivative. But Chloe was good. I liked her as a character. Dude, I liked Lucas. I liked Chloe. I liked the boyfriend. They kind of seemed sort of like, the boyfriend specifically seemed sort of like a Scream TV series sort of character, but they did a better job than I expected with it. Like, they just did not have any time to shine whatsoever. And the movie was like, we need death, so we're going to have to kill you. But look at like Scream 2, dude. They bring out like, you know, they bring out fucking Timothy Olyphant and Jerry O'Connell and these memorable characters and Sarah Michelle Gellar. And I feel like that's something the franchise is missing versus those first 2 movies. even though these kids were fine, you knew they were going to die or they weren't going to be important. They didn't have that memorable. None of them had their own really memorable DNA. They were just kind of friends who were there to die. You know, I need someone who's like, that guy's fucking cool and I'm into whatever he's got going on and I need to know more about him. The way you felt about characters in Scream 1 and 2. The way you felt about Randy. I mean, Randy only lasted 2 movies. Like, they need to bring in characters with some room to fucking have some personality a little bit more. All 3 of the last movies have had that problem. Characters that are just there to die. You know what I mean? But I did like the kill. I liked the tap kill. I thought it was fun. And I liked the Chloe chase scene. But you could take Mindy and Chad right out of that thing and it's just as good. But when he faked like he went out the door and then popped up behind her, that was well done. I will give it that. Ashley Johnson. I like the movie overall, but I have to Ashley Johnson. I like the movie overall, but I have to admit the ending completely took me out. They also showed way too much in the trailer. Dude, listen, I got to tell you. You guys tell me if I'm wrong or right about this. When they released the trailer, I literally praised it. And I was like, it's so refreshing to see them not spoil a bunch of shit in the trailer. Hey, this didn't show too much. You know? I was like, and then the second trailer and all the clips and stuff, I was like, they're doing a great job not showing too much. Thank God it's not Universal. And then I watched the movie, and I watched the movie a second time, and I'm like, damn, they really gave away every beat in this fucking movie, and I didn't realize it. So, I don't know the answer, but we need to find a fucking Don from Mad Men to just reinvent the way movie studios make trailers, like completely. Because once you watch the movie, you realize how much you're like, oh, we're in this scene now. Oh, we're in this scene now. Oh, we're in this scene now. And I thought they did a great job until I watched the movie. And I was like, damn, you're right. They really did give away more than I thought. I don't know what the answer is, though. Paul Purvis says, you are the horror movie saint, but I hated Scream 7. Hey, dude, I'll take it. And like, I tried to say, like, by the way, like, if you didn't like it, I'm not shitting on you at all. Like, I'm only shitting on people who only didn't like it because the Barrera situation. Like, oh my God, a millionaire actress got fired. I can't enjoy things. And no one other can anyone else. I will ruin it for you. I'm not going to wipe this week. But I get it, man. I get it. I would recommend giving it another shot. Because I think when a movie lets your expectations down, when you have a certain thing in your head, it can make you hate the entire thing. If you watch it again, you might find that there's stuff that you really like in it. And again, that's what I'm saying. Like, I really enjoyed the way they handled the first 3 acts of the movie. Like, a lot. Ashley, thanks so much, Ashley. It's nice to have you here. Wish they would have at least ended with a scene saying Stu's grave was empty or something like that. I agree. Again, it would have taken the suspense out of if they did bring him back, because it's like overly obvious that they're saying he's alive. And like I said in the video I put out today, I want them to bring him back, but I don't want them to mention it at fucking all. Like, have it be about something completely different. Don't mention Stu. Don't even whisper his fucking name. Softly whisper to a scream. And then at the end of the movie, all of a sudden, it's Stu out of nowhere from the top rope. Would really shock people. And I think that's definitely the way to go. But you're right. It would have made this movie better. Michael Parton says the beer tap death was the goriest kill. Dude, it's not that, like, on the surface, I feel like it's not. But that spiky beer tap going all the way through there. What it was, though, dude, it was when his mouth opened and it was pouring out. And if you watch closely, it's blood, water, beer. Blood, water, beer. And it's pouring out. And when it gets bloody, it's like, that's nasty. That's nasty, Steven. And I agree. Matthew says the writing was bad. Cops disappear. The cop sweep was comical. Cindy ripping a bird feeder out of the ground was hilarious. The CGI was bad. I didn't notice any CGI. And you know me. I'm crazy about that. What was CGI? I'm not arguing. I'm asking. I'm genuinely curious. Someone in the chat tell me what I'm looking. What was CGI? I didn't notice. I will say I'm going to give it credit before I shit on it. The curfew thing was super fucking cool because they're like, oh, can't go anywhere. We're in a curfew. The whole idea felt rushed. No one announced it. Why are we in a curfew? Because we just killed the ghost face as far as the town knows. So it's weird that we would go. The intestines in the bar kill. Yeah, I didn't notice no CGI. I watched it twice. Oh, the beer tap head was CGI. Yeah, I didn't notice, man. I did not catch that at all. I'll pay more attention next time for sure. Sorry, my fucking ear itches, man. Yeah. So in the AI scenes, I could definitely see the AI. In the AI scenes, I could definitely see the CG, but I thought that was intentional, like on purpose, because this is a guy who's like, I worked for Google for a minute. Kind of dumb explanation for that as well. The bird feeder scene didn't bother me because like that's kind of what you would do if you're in that situation. You would just grab some shit in your lawn and fucking hit someone with it. So that part didn't bother me. But the cops, I love the idea of bringing the curfew back, and I love that they played Red Right Hand right there. And I thought when they showed the cops sweeping the town, the camera work was fucking. Go back and watch that, dude. The camera work was fucking glorious. While Red Right Hand's playing and the cop cars coming down the street, and then they pan up, and then you see the sun come down. It was beautiful with the Nick Cave and the Bad Seed song. That being said, they didn't really explain the curfew very well at all. It's just like, oh, we're at a curfew. The whole town shut down. Town. So like the cops aren't just going to take the night off entirely. Like they would be cruising specifically Main Street, you know? So yeah, I see splitting hairs there a little bit, but I totally see what you mean when you say that. Let's see here. Zachariah! So you're telling me that the blonde man handled everyone in the bar and did the beer tap kill. The blonde man. Because she killed Son, she said. No, I see what you're saying. The blonde in Anna Camp. I'm pretty sure the bar kill was Ethan Embry because she didn't say that she killed him. She said that he was gone. So she didn't say she killed the son herself because there's no way in fuck that she picked him up by his head and just fucking plopped him on the goddamn bar thing like that. It's hard to imagine. I think that was Ethan Embry. And it's a little bit hard to imagine that he did it too, even though he's a jacked up dude. But Scream's always done that. So what are you going to do? What are you going to fucking do? Malicious Clouds. Thanks, buddy. Lovely beard. Matthew did a Q&A after Scream 7 screening, and he said, they set up Stu being still alive perfectly. Thank you. Thank you, dude. That's what I'm fucking saying. That's all I'm fucking saying. God damn, I love Matthew Lillard for constantly fighting for this shit. I'm not alone. Nightwing 12 says, who do you think was Ghostface during each part of the movie? Hard to tell. I'll tell you this, dude. I've never been one that's gotten really into that. I think there's a YouTube channel, like Zach Cherry, I think it is, that does videos about that every time. I've never really cared that much. So I'm glad that people do that, and that's cool. But I will say this. In the scene in the little latte, when she gets out, I hated that scene, by the way, because it's like, the scene overall was great. But like, why wouldn't you just stay in the fucking safe and wait for your mom to get there? Like, you shot him, he's down. Don't leave. Don't go out there. We all know what's going to happen. We saw it happen to Dewey. But, so I hated that. But again, that calls back to the first movie when it's like, why would you run upstairs instead of running out the front door? It's a part of Scream's lore. But Sydney should have known better. She should have told her to stay put. But I guess she wanted to make sure it was over, so shoot him in the head. Anyway, when they get in the fight, and she kind of whoops his ass, and then he's down, and then you see the ghost face rise up behind her. Fucking badass scene, dude. Because not only did you get one ghost face hit by a car, now you have her fighting another ghost face, and the third ghost face shows up. Also, when she hits Gen Z Billy in the face with her laptop and another Ghostface shows up with the knife pull scene, I'm thinking to myself once again, it's the call to fucking Stu. It's a Ghostface cult. We've always wanted this. I've prayed for times like these. Didn't quite pan out that way. But that's what I was hoping for. But I have no fucking idea which one was which. We know it was Carl in the house. And likely Carl in Woodsboro. Although, like some people have said, maybe that was Stu. Based Logic says, entire cast of forgettable characters, trash movie. All right. I disagree. I think Isabel May is an extremely memorable character for sure. And I think that Joel McHale's character is extremely likable and memorable and is going to be a huge addition to the cast. And that's not even to mention the originally memorable characters who are already there in Nev Campbell and Gale. So, but I would agree with you that the friends were forgettable, but they weren't bad, you know? They were there to be killed, basically, because there wasn't enough time for them. But I also think it's really interesting that, at least in Sydney's case, some of her friends survived the original Ghostface attacks in 1996. Tatum doesn't even have that. Every one of her friends was fucking butchered. And I think that could play into the future storylines as well. Shrinking Guard. Thanks, buddy. He says they could have kept the movie exactly how it was if they just had Stu across the street walking by Sid's house at the end before it faded to black. This, or the phone call at the end, or however you wanted to do it, I could not agree more. It would have made this movie 10,000 times better. And that only lends credence to me thinking Stu's going to come back in another movie. Because if he ends up being alive and the killer at the end of Scream 8, we'll be thankful they didn't tell us, and it could have been a surprise. Maybe I'm fucking illogical for saying this, but I'm praying to God that this is all a ruse to bring Stu back in an actual surprise way in Scream 8. Could be wrong. I'm just hoping it's misdirection, you know? Hopefully we sacrificed a cooler ending to Scream 7 so that Scream 8 could, be even greater. Taylor Paulson, thanks, buddy. Just saw it. Got the Halloween pumpkin from Halloween. Just saw it. Wasn't very impressed, and it hurts to say since Kevin Williamson was back and Nev as well. I really liked the whole sequence when Carl Ghostface came out of the attic, and loved the beer tap kill. I hope you enjoyed it a lot more on rewatch. Totally understand. It led up to great hope, and then the ending wasn't as good as it could have been. So I get it. But yeah, that attic scene was fucking dope, and I like the beer tap scene too. Robin Barker says, glad the suspense returned. The panic room scene, the home invasion, and Sid watching Tatum on the phone, though I wish Sid hauled ass to save Tatum, reminds me of the studio scene in Scream 2. So I kind of agree with you, dude. Like, that scene was so fucking intense on one hand, and again, with whoever said it earlier, why'd that have to be in the trailer? Because I guess you have to show something in the trailer. And obviously, whatever they did worked, because the movie's making shit tons of money. But that scene pissed me off, like, a couple times, because I'm like, I feel like Sydney would be smart enough to not try to do this on foot. But I think they were trying to shoehorn a story in there where she didn't trust Gale. They make a couple lines about that in the movie. And it would have been a way smarter gamble to look at Gale and be like, where's your car? Let's go right now. Than to run outside, try a locked car, and then decide to go on foot. She probably would have got there in twice the time and maybe could have saved the day had she just gone in and asked for a fucking ride, And I think they were trying to like hint that she didn't trust. And I think that was just the script doing too much. You know what I mean? They could have done that scene and she could have been in the car with Gale. But I guess they just didn't want Gale in the final scene. And they wanted it to be Sydney centric. Which that I understand. I saw someone complain. They're like, Gale wasn't even in the final act. I'm like, dude, we can't have everyone be a part of everything. So I like that it was Sydney centric for once. But again, titty writers. Tighter writing could have helped. I agree. Couldn't agree more, man. Pro Wilco looks like a guy having a painful shit. My ranking: number 1, Scream; number 2, Scream 5; number 3, Scream 3. Parker Posey pushes this movie. Scream 6, Scream 2. Scream 2's getting disrespect here. Scream 4, Scream 7, dead last. I can't say I agree, but I respect your opinion, good sir. And I hope you and John Gruden taking a poop have a good night. Robin Barker says, love how Ghostface was kind of shot Myers' ass. Dude, that's what I'm saying. They shot him really well. And in the trailers when they showed him, I felt like he had a little bit too much forehead showing. Like, it looked a little bit off and weird. Maybe it's them coming off having the aged mask, the Halloween Ends mask in Scream 6. But I really dug the way that they filmed him and shot him. One thing I will say that's kind of a bummer is Roger Jackson got kind of fucking as badass as they shot Ghostface. And the shot, dude, when he pops up behind her, when you watch this again. I noticed this last night. When you watch this movie again, when the Ghostface pops up behind Tatum after she knocks down the other Ghostface, and they kind of convert on her, and Ghostface kind of rushes the camera. Creepy, right? They were trying to actually make it scary. They had the balls to try to make it scary. Listen in the background, and there's just a random scream. Like Ghostface encompasses the camera. Sorry. Ghostface encompasses the camera, and then you just hear like a really woman screaming, and it's fucking spooky, dude. They did a great job of that. It reminded me of the first movie and the way that shit was done. And that's the kind of nuances that I really love about this movie. That I was saying, like, really big fans of the first movie will see certain things that I think other people won't, like that in this movie. Trey, what's up, brother? Says, hey, Mike, I wish every Ghostface reveal was something we didn't know. Then at the end, Sydney gets a call. It's Stu saying, surprise, Sydney. I agree. We talked about that earlier. I think that would have made this movie, the ending of this movie, just like that would have been a balm over all of our wounds at the end of this movie. It definitely would have made this specific movie better. Every Ghostface being someone we didn't know, that's kind of where you get into Anna Camp territory, though, right? Isn't that how you end up with oh, it's them? Like, I think at this point, maybe you mean someone that we've never seen before that just shows up for the first time. You're like, who the fuck is that guy? And in that sense, I get it, because Carl was kind of fucking scary, like we mentioned earlier. So I see what you're saying. I do see what you're saying. That maybe not every time, but every once in a while, that'd be interesting. And it'd be like, you guys don't fucking know me, but I'm Steve. And you didn't say God bless you when I sneezed. Just some weird fucked up shit like that. Like, I didn't have a motive. Maybe that's even scarier. Motives are incidental. It's the millennium. Cheney, she lives in Indy. How you don't have Blick on you? I don't know what Blick is, dude. But I have been to Indy and I've seen some shit. Pro Wilco says, I didn't think about this too much when it happened, but when Sid said that last friend she trusted was Tatum, that was so disrespectful to so many characters like Dewey. Gail really didn't like that line. Listen, fuck, you're right. I didn't think about Dewey. I did not think about Dewey when she said that, bro. Like, that's fucking wild. That was disrespectful to Dewey. Shit. Like, I knew it was disrespectful to Gail because you saw Gail's fucking face when she said it. She was like, excuse me, bitch? Damn. And that was part of, like, and then they had to have that moment at the end where they came back in and she was like, by the way, I really do trust you. And I kind of shit on Guy Busick a little bit for this in my own brain because it kind of reminded me of the loosey-goosey storyline they kind of try to force in 6 when she was like, let me go. And I'm like, all right, this is a little, if I can see the writing happening in front of my face and I can see you trying to complete the arc wasn't done well. I should just feel it. And I felt that a little bit so I kind of blame that on Busick, but shit, after knowing that he came out with the AI thing, I was kind of like, well, fuck. But yeah, she should have always trusted Dewey. That was kind of a shitty statement by Nev right there. But you know what I do love real quick? I do love that Nev Campbell's Sidney Prescott is an imperfect person. Like, she didn't have to go all goddamn, I'm a crazy kook lady who shoots mannequins in the backyard. Like Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, really just going for the fucking Oscar. But she was imperfect. She was not a perfect mother, but she was trying her best. She just didn't know how to explain what she'd been through to her daughter or why she couldn't share these things with her. And she has that revelation in the middle of the movie where she was like, she's right. By trying to protect her from this, I didn't prepare her at all. And obviously this is going to be a part of her life. So those kind of nuances I thought were interesting, and they were far more deeper than you typically get in a 7th movie in a fucking franchise. And can we just say that for a second? This movie, I know it pissed a lot of people off with the ending and stuff like that, but the quality in this movie is so much more than we could typically expect from any horror franchise on its 7th fucking movie. You know? Is something wrong with my internet connection? Oh, am I blurry and laggy? I'm just going on. I'm just going on and on and on. Oh shit. Is it good? Is it better? I see what you guys are saying. Dude, my internet's fucking top notch. I pay like fucking so much for this. Is the internet being shitty? Tell me when it gets better. Is that better? It's still fuzzy? I mean, there's nothing I can do about it, I guess, because I look great. I can see myself over here in the corner, and it's like 1080p. Damn, for 10 minutes? Wow. Glenn says no. Hey, maybe it's your fucking internet, you guys. Oh, shit. All right. That's the whole time? Man. People are saying no, so I did not. Not today. Not today. I am. How about that, Jordan? Let me see. Yeah, dude. It's mine says full. I don't know. Only like 10 minutes. Free sample expired. Bro, I pay for that fucking industrial shit. I pay for the hardcore shit. It should not be doing this. I swear I'm not. I swear. The stuff I put on the screen is clear as shit. Damn. Sound. So you can hear me good at least? As long as you guys can hear what my dumbass mouth is rattling off. Hopefully it'll clear up. It's just a blip in the fucking in the radar. The audio's delayed now? God damn it. You can take it all away when you shoved it in my... Because blurry. Words don't match my lips. Damn, dude. Damn. Oh, well, fucking shit. I am going to take a breather. I think like I've been running my mouth off real fast. Maybe I need to slow down for a second for this thing to catch up. Yikes. You trying to download movies on my internet stream?
Who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
So it wasn't my wife. I don't know if you guys heard her. Oh, don't worry, Gene. I'm still on all the super chats. Yes, please. Por favor. Yeah, I filled that one. That's backwash now. Thanks, babe. I love you.
Whatever.
Nicole forever. We good? Is it better? Is it any better? I don't know why I thought if I stopped talking so fast it would get better. Unplug and replug the camera. All right, I'll fucking try it. Are we good? Did we fix it? Hey, if that fixed it, oh, I did not fix it. Oh, there's not? Oh, just the water's fine. With a lot of ice.
It's half alien, half.
Yeah, that'll work. Even worse? Damn. His Oriental says, just keep talking. It still looks like bad VHS. That's fucking crazy, dude. Because, like, hang on, let me pull it up. Let me close some tabs. Let me close some tabs and see if this helps. Apparently, I'm, like, super laggy and blurry and shitty.
Oh, I love that for you.
It had been for a while, but I was too busy running my fat mouth for me to notice. Shut up. Now the audio is ahead of the video. I'm going to read your super chat. I swear to God. I'll go find it, his Oriental. I'll go do it right now. Did I skip it or did I just not get to it yet? I scooted back and I don't see it, so maybe I just haven't gotten to it yet. But we're gonna make it through. We're gonna get there. And if I haven't gotten to the end, tell me in the chat before we go, and we'll get there. All right, we are. Where are we? We are at Jesus Queros. I wish the opening scene with the house burning down was the last scene of the movie. Think about it. The entire movie is AI Stu. Then he gets called out and called a bitch during the news station radio scene. Then Marco. So, dude, let me tell you, if they fucking did it just fix? Did the video just fix? Real quick, just a question. Because this is going to be crazy. Oh, fuck. Shit, sorry. I turned off my music for a second. I thought maybe that fixed it. So, all right. So, no. Dude, man. I would say it would have been fire, as someone in the chat said, if close the hub. How do I close the hub? Let me try this real quick. Because it's bothering me too. How are we doing? Did we fix it? Is this better? No way. Is that fixed? Did that do it? Yeah! Let's fucking go, boys! Let's fucking go! We did it! Hell yeah! Let's go. It's not, because that's not what happened. Let's fucking go, boys. All right. See, just never give up. Never surrender. If it wasn't in the trailer, that would have been a badass fucking ending. I'll give you that. But the fact that it was in a trailer, I wouldn't give a shit. Dude, if it was Stu at the end of that movie and he set the house on fire, how badass was that, by the way? It was so fucked up. Because after the dude's eye twisted and he killed him, he sets her on fire, right? And then he not only sets fire to the house, but pours it on her, right? While she's laying there. And they make us listen to her screams. That reminded me of how painful Casey Becker's death was in the original movie. You know? Like, it was fucked up and mean, and it made you feel bad for the character. It wasn't like, oh, look, we're killing a bunch of people. It was like, ooh, I fucking hate this guy for doing this. And that's the kind of thing that made me remember Scream 1. It made me feel like Wes Craven was behind the camera. So, yeah, in that essence, I would have liked it. And again, just another cool thing about the opening of the movie. By the way, let's see. Okay, I thought we lost some shit for a second there. We're good. We're gonna make it. Try to pick back up where we left off. By the way, thank you guys so much for fucking over 600 people in here and all the super chats and shit. This is amazing. Fucking thank you guys so much. I'm trying to get back to where we were when I had to click off. Let's see. Sorry for my delay here. All right. Nope, didn't find it. All right, gotcha. By the way, thank you very much, Jesus Squaros 1. Or Jesus, however you say it. It says that we are too stupid for believing Stu's still alive. The ending scene could have been more like, all right, you guys want to talk all this shit. It's showtime, bitches. And he walks away from the house burning down. Yeah, I get that. By the way, that was a great line. It was so funny, dude, when Stu was like, yeah, she skipped curfew. She's a bad bitch. And I'm going to make her suffer for it. So many great Stu lines. And new Stu lines. Not just regurgitated ones. Like, he came up with some new shit that was memorable and quotable, in my opinion. That we'll all probably be quoting in a couple years. But I heard somebody saying earlier that, like, was offended, that was pissed off, that the movie was basically calling everyone stupid who believed Stu was still alive. Because of the scene where Ethan Embry's character is like, no, it's not Stu, you idiot. He's in the ground. A lot of people took umbrage with that and were like, either took umbrage or were like, yeah, tell those fucking Stuthers how stupid they are, that fucking Stu's still alive. Okay, well, if that was the case, tell me this. Why, in the article we just read, did Kevin Williamson not just say that they literally filmed an ending where Stu was alive and almost used it? So clearly they don't feel that way about the Stu train, about people being alive. Clearly they've thought about it, looked at it, considered it. And not to mention the fact that the movie made Nev Campbell, the movie made Sidney Prescott and Gail Weathers believe Stu was alive. So no, the movie is not a middle finger to people who think Stu's alive. I think that's a ridiculous thought, personally. But great points, man. Thank you very much. Right, stop. Also, I'm happy about the box office. Good for Scream and horror. Scream 8 definitely needs Kevin writing. Love you, buddy. I love you too, man. I would love to see Kevin Williamson come back and be the sole writer on this. And that's no disrespect to Guy Busick at all. I think Guy Busick deserves to see, like, hey, okay, where am I? Where are they? Because it's hard to tell who did what. And it goes from perfect to bad. So I would like to see, just to know. But like, okay, is this the way we should go forth in the future or what? But yeah, dude, at the end of the day, I'm so fucking happy this movie did so good. You know, even if it wasn't perfect, even if it didn't end the way we wanted it to, I'm so fucking happy because, listen, if you decided not to watch the movie, more power to you. But there's a lot of fucking people, disingenuous fuckasses, who are just Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera fans who don't give a fuck about the franchise, who have made the lead up to this movie fucking miserable for a lot of people and spoiled a lot of shit. Fuck those people and their stupid fucking asses. And I'm so glad that Chasing Shadows guy who thinks that if you watch Scream 7, you're a racist. Get fucked, loser. Those people can suck a fucking dick. And I'm so glad the movie's doing good in spite of them. Eat my ass. I love that. That's not to people who just didn't watch the movie because they felt a certain way. I respect that. But to everybody who tried to ruin everybody else or call them bad names over it, God, it's fucking awesome. Every day there's a new article about how good it's doing. And it's like fuck you. Fuck you for trying to ruin one of the small pieces of joy we have in this fucking world. You fucking asshole, loser, miserable cunt. Fuck you. Cucks is what I said, YouTube. I don't like that other word. So that's how I feel about that. I agree. That makes me so, not just because I love Scream, just because fuck those people. Makes me so happy. So yeah. If there's any question about how I felt about that, that's how I feel as well. Yeah. Glenn Harris. Nick Tickler. I was disappointed with how Roger Jackson's voice was mostly absent in 7. The quote, "I'm going to burn it all down," wasn't even in the movie. I totally agree. And I was thinking this last night when I was watching it for the second time. Like, dude, it was so cool to have Stu in those AI scenes, doing what he was doing, and just doing the Stu stuff that I didn't care. But you did lose. You had to trade. Those moments where they're talking to Stu and AI would have been Roger Jackson phone calls. So Roger Jackson's voice is on the back burner in this movie. And that is 100% true. Now, I'm glad they did it this way, again, because of the Stu stuff. But you're 100% right. Roger Jackson's voice is on the back burner in this one. And that's tough to take. I didn't like that part either. You know what I mean? So that was one thing. But what else can I do? Totally agree with you, Glenn. And I love you, buddy. Turlington said, probably wrong about this, but in my opinion, Shaky Gale seemed very sneaky between the cheese. Dude, why do you fucking tickle me so much? I swear to God. I think she ultimately blames Sid for Dewey's death and is cleverly and patiently playing chess behind the curtains. I can't ever. I don't think they'll do it. Dude. Just in that recent article, Kevin Williamson, and he should stop fucking saying this. Stop saying that you're protective over Sydney. It sucks out the tension in the room. If we know that you'll never kill Sydney or put her through more pain, then we know that like her family and her are not in danger. Stop saying that. Even if you believe it, stop telling the fucking press that. But I don't think he'll kill. I don't think he'll have Gail be a killer for that reason. I do think Gail might die. But also, she's very frail, and the shakiness. I thought it was just a chance for her to be like, hey, I want a real part in this movie. I want to have at least a 5-minute moment built in this movie where I can emote and act and talk about Dewey and what I'm going through. Because fucking Scream 6, they gave her a good chase scene and had her almost killed. But, I mean, dude, Dewey just died, and she's got some random dude in her apartment. I feel like they completely skipped over like what she should have been going through with Dewey's death. And just in my opinion. So I feel like, yeah, I see what you're saying, for sure. Rick, Nick. Weird take, but I'd love to find out at the end of this franchise that Cotton did in fact play a role in Marine's death alongside Bill, Stu, and Roman. I would love that, dude. They got to be careful at this point about how many characters they pull out of the past. But I think at some point, dude, don't you think, Nick and everybody else, that at some point, just as a one-off for fun, we should New Nightmare this bitch? Like, when it reaches a fever pitch of awesome characters that we want to see be brought back from the dead, isn't the right route to go for someone with the nuts of a fucking champion to come out and say, in honor of Wes Craven, we're going to do New Nightmare Scream, where a real-life Ghostface is going after these actors in person? Like, the only way they do it is if Scream 8 or 9 tanks and they're desperate to reinvigorate the franchise. So I hope that doesn't happen in a sense, but like, it would be so fun to watch that fucking New Nightmare Scream movie. You're like, holy tits. Mayo! The only thing that annoys me about this franchise is the Ghostface reveals. They're like Scooby-Doo villains when they take the masks off. I think that all started with Stu, you know? That's nothing against Stu, but I think everybody's trying to live up to that, you know? And especially when the actors know that, like, oh, this reveal's not the best. I'm going to have to play it up this is my chance. You only get one shot to blow. Like, but I get what you're saying. I do. I think they're just overdoing it to try to make it more memorable. Gene Sortzwag. Am I alone in wanting a remake at this point? Not at this point. Not at this point. A remake of the original, completely impossible. Like, dude, when you watch the original Scream and you see Lillard and Ulrich and Campbell and Arquette and all of them, it's larger than life. You put teens on camera today and they just, am I wrong in this? They just feel like teens. They look like 30 somethings and it was the time, so we believed it. I just don't think you can have those kind of like memorable young characters be believable the way they were then. So I think a remake is off the question. I think a spin-off in a different world. Hey, a Ghostface attacks a town. But I never think that you should recast Sydney and recast, Stu and all them. If you want to do something that's completely void of Nev Campbell and everyone, just a fresh new story, the mask and the voice is all that stays, that I could understand. But I could never understand a remake where you recast, it's just impossible to fill those shoes. Pixel, it was a place in time, and that's why we're still talking about it 30 years later. Pixel Shark 6809 predicture. Scream 8 is the fan film. Cult of Stu and Random Killers. They have a Discord, and Stu recruits people on Kickstarter or something. My take was, dude, I thought it was going to be a Cult of Stu, and I thought that he was going to be behind Amber. That's one thing I will put to bed. Like, everyone's like, Mike, give up on the Stu thing. I will not. I will fucking not. But I do think that my hopes and dreams that Stu was going to come out and claim that he was behind killing Dewey kind of died with Scream 7. I do think that, unfortunately. And I really kind of believe that. But, like, I think that idea died because it's just been too much now. It's too much for him to explain that he's behind. Maybe I'm wrong, but I really thought that had some nutsack to it. Maybe it was too obvious, and that's why they didn't even consider it. They're like, oh, fuck, asshole fucking fat YouTuber came up with it. I guess we can't use that now. Ryan says, unrelated, but Bruce Campbell has cancer. Yeah, as you know, we just talked about that, man. Best thoughts to him. I hope it's one of those situations that, hey, if anybody can kick cancer's ass, it's fucking Bruce Campbell, right? But fuck cancer. It's terrible to hear. Joe Dunn says, Scream 4 came out 15 years ago. Oh, don't fucking say that. All right? I already feel old enough. Do you see these bags under my eyes? No mention of Mark or having kids. So has Sydney have a 17-year-old? Only continuity that bothered me. Well, she had kids by 5, right? Because she's pushing the stroller. She already had kids by 5. I don't know. Like, I'm as hardcore a Scream person as anybody, and it never really sunk in and bothered me that much. But I've heard several people mention it. But again, the twins that she had are with Mark's parents, so there's that. But yeah, I guess if you got really timeliney with it, I'm not sure how that works out. Joe, I think that was the cold open for Scream 8, should be Maureen Prescott's murder. I thought that was going to be possibly the case in 7 when they said they were bringing back Stu and they were bringing back Roman. I thought we might get a case where, okay, you don't have to CGI deepfake them. You don't have to do any of that shit. You just show us how the original murder took place of Maureen, and they're all under Ghostface masks. So all you need are their voices, right? So we get to hear Stu's voice, maybe them talking to each other, planning it out in the woods before it happens, some shit like that. I don't know what I was thinking. But that's on the table, I think, for sure. A flashback like that. Fuck, Halloween Kills did it, right? You know, it could happen. Excuse me for a moment. I am parched. Thank you. Dr. Corn Dogs. He's a monkey who loves corn dogs and has a PhD. Says there needs to be a scene in the new Scream 8 where Ghostface pops out in all white cape instead of the black in one scene. White like a classic ghost. Thank you. Fucking thank you. I've wanted that for so long, deep in my loins. And I think a Christmas Ghostface would be absolutely perfect for that. I would love that. I would love that so, so much. Emotionless Zombie. Did you change your fucking name? I think you did. Hey, Mike, why does Nev Sidney get a pass for multiple returns in Scream, but if Laurie Strode gets brought up for a return, people complain? I was thinking about this today, and brother, I was thinking about this today. And here's why, dude, because, well, so, all right, Sidney's maintained the same timeline, for one, the entire time. You know, she's still the same Sidney Prescott for the first movie. That's never wavered. Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode has not. She was in the first movie. She's in the second movie. Those were continuous, right? She pops up, back up again in Scream, or in Halloween H2O, and they just try to pretend half the franchise didn't even exist or happen. And now she's, Laurie Tate, or Karen Tate. And then Scream, or Halloween 8, they follow that up and she dies. They kill her, right? And then she just pops back up again. In the requel, a brand new version of herself that's in the future. And they just they did it so over the top. When I watch these movies, I can feel Jamie Lee Curtis like making it all about herself. And I just have never felt that with Sidney Prescott and Neve Campbell. It feels like a natural love for it rather than just I'm here for the money. And you could argue that because I know there's the pay dispute and all that stuff like that. That's just pure the vibe I get. And Sydney's just, I don't know. She feels more intricate to Ghostface than Laurie does to Michael Myers. Maybe that's just a me thing though. But I don't know. I could be wrong. What? I just saw this random. Do you present as a jokester, but really have anger issues? If that's directed towards me, maybe that's possible. I try to work out a lot, just to get rid of those demons, but I don't hit anyone. I just get mad at people on the internet. Andrew Romano says we need a Scream movie set in the snow season. Imagine Ghostface chase scene with snow and blood in an Alaskan setting, January 2028 release. Dude, I would love to see Ghostface in the snow in the white robe. We've talked about that, but I would dig the fuck out of that. That would be so fucking cool, man. The cinematography alone would be dope. Winning! You scared me when you came back. I should go to bed. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I love you. I'll put you to bed myself. Eat your fucking vegetables or I'll beat your ass. Sister Pam says this weekend at Scaradise. Is that really the name of it? Because that's kind of fucking dope, Pam. Scaradise? Scaradicio? I'm sorry, I'm a fucking idiot. Matt said Scream 7 did a great job setting up that Stu is still alive. They did nothing but add to the legacy. So that's what I'm saying. And I think that when Williamson did this interview, I think he's just trying to put the baby to bed so that it can be a true surprise in Scream 8. So people like me are going to have to eat shit over the next year when they're like, Stu is dead. Everyone should give it up. I'm going to eat all the shit. Stu's dead, Mike. Let it go. And then they're going to reveal him. And I support it. I'll be your fucking pinata so that we can keep a lid on this thing. I'd love it. But it's a huge undertaking. Like, honest to God, if I was Kevin Williamson, I might be like, no, we can't have a surprise Stu reveal because everything in this fucking franchise gets goddamn leaked. You guys agree with me on this? Can we please fucking put a kebab on the leaks with this fucking franchise? How many movies has it been now? Some fucking dickwad who thinks he's Jesus Christ fucking leaking shit from the movies every fucking time. Stop it. Stop it. Reddit's not real. Twitter's not real. Let people enjoy the fucking thing. Thank you, Sister Pam. Winning says no raspy voice either. Good curveball. Agreed. Super crazy fuffle. A scream that's from the killer's perspective. I'm scared to say yes, but I fucking like it. Like In a Violent Nature. But like, okay, so it wouldn't be In a Violent Nature because you would actually see the character on screen. Like on screen. Like you would see them. And it would have to be a great fucking actor to make you believe. It would have to be a Nathan Basil from fucking Leslie Vernon that really made you buy in. You'd have to fucking write the greatest script of all time for them to take a shot like that. But by God, if it worked, you know, what is this dude's deal? You know, they say you have low-key issues. No. We've been best friends for like 30 goddamn years. Why are you so weird, His Oriental? Stop it. I don't know why maybe it's that weird font you're using. All right, where were we here? Kavonics Music says Anna Camp plays crazy really well. I think if she was Leslie Mocker and kept Stu a secret and nursed him back to health, that would have played off each other. They would have played off each other beautifully. She didn't get enough chance to shine. Like she was good, but she kind of just seemed like, you know, a girl at Pilates that you see going crazy for a minute. I'm not saying the actress couldn't have pulled it off, but like, I could see that she had it in her for sure. I've never seen her in anything else, but, I don't think she did a bad job. She just didn't have great lines written for her, to be honest with you. That was kind of weak. Happy! I love Scream 7. It mixed all movies in one. It did do that. It did do that, for sure. You got to give it credit for that. And specifically, I just loved how it felt a lot like 1 and 2. Just in the nuance, in the DNA. Calavaresta TV. Annika's death in 6 was better than any death in 7. I completely disagree. Like, I liked her death, but it's kind of like the example of like, oh, a death. It's gross. You know, it's a brutal death. It was a cool death. But I'll take that quick little scene of him sticking that knife in his head and turning it and his eye turning. That one felt ingenious and never seen before. And another felt like someone going, hey, I'm going to make a really cool kill. And I liked the kill, but it's just like, I don't know. Like it didn't have the same meaning that I feel like some of the other kills did. Just for me. But you could argue, hey, the beer tap scene was kind of the same thing. So maybe I'm talking out of my ass. But Annika's death was a good death for that movie. Eagle Bear, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that very much. Horror House Online says, Stu was alive. One, if someone stole his intake paperwork, one of the killers would have said it was too easy to steal. They would have mentioned it. And even if they didn't, it's notable that they didn't mention it, you know? Number 2, and I think they left that fucking line in there on purpose. They want people to talk about it. They want it to be a possibility. Stu was the only FaceTimed AI. That's true. He was. Everyone else was in a pre-recorded video. That's true. And his was the best too. Stu's AI phone calls were so much better than everyone else's by a fucking mile, bro. Happy! I love Scream 7. It mixed... I just fucking read that. I'm an idiot and I apologize. You know, my throat needs liquidations. Thank you guys so much. So many people in here. So many super chats. So thankful. You guys rock. Steve, the movie felt rushed. Characters lacked connection, and the killer reveal made no sense. My rankings 1, 2, 5, 4, 6, 3, 7. You know, that's the only thing I'd say is watch it a second time. I'm not saying you're wrong. Watch it a second time now that you have no expectations. And I feel like in the first 3 acts of the movie, you might see and notice and feel a vibe that you didn't see, that you were so angered by the last act you didn't see. I wasn't a fan of the killer reveal either. I agree with you that the characters lack connection when Chad and Mindy came in. But the really, really important ones, like Sid and her daughter and her husband, that stuff did have connection, and Gail. So I thought the stuff that mattered, but I understand. I understand where you're coming from. Mercurio, thank you, buddy. Says, Mike, please react to the Scary Movie trailer. I'm going to save that for Wednesday with Jay because I don't think he's seen it yet. So I'll wait till we're live Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Guys, come hang out with us. Those if you only follow us for Scream News, just give a Wednesday live stream a chance. We have so much fucking fun. People that are in here every week for that will tell you. We have the fucking best time. So show up for that shit. His Oriental says, fuck all spiteful haters who try to spoil the ending and get us to boycott. 64 million opening. Jokes on them. Also, T or F, you and Jay have true or false. No, Jay and I don't have issues. Honest to God, like, we've been best friends for 30 years. I would die for that man. I would die for that man. Of course, we've had issues in the past. We've literally made jokes about a time that we got in a fist fight in a karaoke bar on the stream before. We've been through everything in life together. The death of family members, divorce, the most painful thing you can think of. Jay and I'll be fucking best friends until the day we goddamn die, and we're lucky to have each other. So, yeah, we've had issues. We don't have any now, and that's totally normal, you know? So, Shaney says, Pitch Perfect reasoning was so stupid. Pitch Perfect reason. Yeah, I didn't love the reasoning either, man. Like, I'm not going to try to fucking put a lipstick on that pig. Christina Brooks says, do you miss the meta-ness of the first 2 to 3 films? It depends. Like, 5 and 6 had meta-ness to them, and it felt a little forced. Like, I liked it because I like almost everything this franchise does, but it felt a little forced. So, like, I didn't feel myself missing it when I watched the movie. I'll say that. And I think there's some underrated meta-ness there that doesn't get talked about, you know? So, oh, I'm sorry. Let me click back. I clicked off the thing. Okay, here we go. Horror House Online. How has no one in this franchise had to take a shit? Imagine a character sits to drop one and Ghostface is in the tub behind the shower curtain. Like Friday, like, ooh, baby, this goddamn enchiladas. There, as far as I can recall, there are no poop scenes. And they should have done a Lethal Weapon 2 type of poop scene because they did have the Lethal Weapon 3 unfinished house kills. So, maybe you guys haven't seen Lethal Weapon 2. There's a great poop scene in that movie. Post Maestro, thanks, buddy. A lot of people saying I was never a Stu believer, but I wish it was the real Stu. Proves the movie moved the needle. They set the stage for us. Thank you, bro. That's what I'm saying. I've got people commenting saying that have been telling me for years, shut the fuck up, Stu's dead, no chance. And those same motherfuckers are like, fucking ending sucked, should have been Stu. And I'm like, where are you going to be at the fucking end of Scream 8 when Stu is revealed? You're going to owe me an apology. You're not going to give it to me. That's okay. Dr. Corndog says, I really love how Ghostface creeps and moves like an actual ghost in the movie. It was definitely that Michael Myers supernatural type movie. Yeah, dude. Nobody talks about that because the ending overshadowed so much. Ghostface was fucking great in this movie. And it didn't feel like try hard. Like, and again, I like 6. The whole I'm something different bodega scene, like, I got a shotgun. This Ghostface was that dude who doesn't talk shit, right? He doesn't talk shit on the internet. And then someone starts shit with him and, like, he knocks him the fuck out. Like, this was a Ghostface that doesn't have a lot of bluster behind him, but it's fucking about business. You know, I felt that. I think a lot of us did. DJ, thanks, buddy, says Sydney's running out of people trying to kill her, which is why I appreciate Scream 5 and 6. Well, at least 6. She interjected herself in 5. I completely agree with that. Look, no ifs, ands, and buts about it. I loved, as a fan, watching this movie focus on Sydney and giving her her time to shine. However, it has to have a fucking, dude, it has to have a clock. I hate saying that. I hate to say that. I don't know how many movies you could do this. I'll still love it. But I'm not going to be able to argue it against someone when they're like, dude, it's so ridiculous. She's been attacked by 20 different ghost faces. They have to come up with an amazing script that makes sense for this to keep going. And that's kind of the challenge at this point. You can't disagree with that. Pro Wilco, John Gruden taking a dump. Cody Leach said this felt like a movie in the first movie would make fun of. Um, I mean, I don't. Apart from, I guess, again, several character moments where it's like, why would you run out the front door, run upstairs when you could run out the front door? I mean, the first movie wasn't Scary Movie, you know what I mean? And love and respect the shit out of Cody, but like, it's not like the first movie was Scary Movie, like doing just crazy riffs on horror movies. It didn't really make fun of any horror movies. It just talked about the rules of those movies. The only and I may be wrong about this, but the only real line I could think where the original movie made fun of any movie was when it was Sydney talking about a killer, the blonde bimbo always running upstairs instead of running outside, you know. But I see the sentiment for sure. If you had issues with the movie, I see the sentiment. Winning says Hughes NetGen 4. That was an internet joke, I think. I think that was an internet joke from earlier. First bald ghost face. Hey, that was for us. That was for all of us old heads. We like to see ourselves on screen, get some representation. Some bald white dudes. Balding white dudes, at least. Camp Council Warriors. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Terry Stevens says Tori Spelling should be the opening scene in Scream 8. Like, her career now is doing stab, meet and greets, and Ghostface gives her a call at Woodsboro Comic Con. Dude, I'd watch the fuck out of that. I don't mind it at all. Was that the picture, by the way? In Carl's room? I was confused about that. Was that a picture of Tori Spelling? Did anybody catch that? Who was that? Who was the person in there? Because I saw he had someone in a pink dress. Was that Tori Spelling? I was confused about that. So oh, it was. Okay, thank you. Hang on one second. I gotta... Sorry, guys. Let me... Okay. All right, sorry. I had to double check something. I'd be down for that. I say, although it does kind of remind me of Scream 4 a little bit. I was never a big fan of the Scream 4 opening. It was a little too meta for me. Isaiah Ruiz YouTube says, idea for 8. 3 killers. 1 is Tatum, but she was disguising in order to kill the other 2 in the end. We find out there was indeed a 4th, but they get away killing dozens with no motive. We find out 9. I've always wanted to Scream to have a Ghostface get away. I feel like we missed an opportunity here to do that. And obviously in my head, it would have been Stu, right? And also, you bring up a really interesting point. At what point does the franchise get to the point where we have a hero dressed as a ghost face killing people to prevent the murders? I don't know how you write that. I don't know how you figure that out. In Kevin Williamson's original Scream 5, Jill survived and got away with it. I don't know fucking how. Got away with it, went to college, and a ghost face was threatening to out her, so to speak, and killing people around her, and she had to find out who the Ghostface was before she got outed. So that Ghostface could have been Sydney or Gail or Dewey. That was a way to do it. But I feel like at some point the franchise might have to cross that territory, but I feel like maybe they're afraid to. There's just too much money on the table to take a big swing like that. And that could be dangerous. Sandy Papito! Thanks, buddy. He says, if a test audience didn't like a Stu ending, what kind of damn test audience liked the ending we got? It's true. That's fucking true. I love Kevin Williamson. I feel like they should definitely... They should have tested that a little bit fucking more. Saw Anna Camp's explanation and said, yep, go with that one. Yeah, I couldn't fucking agree more, man. Couldn't fucking agree more. Like, I hesitate to say it, though, because, like, what if it just didn't work? But the fact that they filmed Stu fucking alive and that exists, and I'm probably never going to let my fat fucking eyes on it, it hurts my dick, dude. Thanks, Bone Lady. Appreciate that. Turlington says, these streams are amazing, like basking in the sun wearing nothing but tighty whities. How do you think Jay's RDR session's going right now? Love you both. Love you too, buddy. And I'll bet dollars to dicks that Jay is playing Resident Evil right now, probably. I've been playing that with the kids. There's some gnarly shit in those Resident Evil games, man. A couple times some of those monsters popped out and I was like, God damn. Like, this game has upped its, it's upped its shit. But we'll find out on Wednesday. Bone Lady says, I wish Tatum Jr. would have gotten to punch Gale like a bam, bitch went down. Sid, super bitch, tribute. Stu's alive and I will die on that hill, but at least I'm dead. Get it up, Bone Lady. I love it, and I agree. Couldn't agree more. I think Mark Consuelos is definitely going to get a punch to the head for sure at some point. He feels like the new asshole Gale character. Maybe they want Gale to like take a nice person aspect in the next movie, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to take over as the new dick-faced journalist. Jacob, thanks, buddy, says, Jacob, what are I going to keep someone to make up? He wanted to. Make Julia Roberts the killer. She could kill everyone with her Pretty Woman hooker boots. Rocky Horror meets Scream, rock on, bro. I fucking love it, dude. Let's do it. Julia Roberts, why do I feel like she could fit into this fucking, you know? Why do I feel like Julia Roberts would make sense in the fucking Scream verse? I don't know. Tank Void, I have no idea. I'm not smart enough of a person to understand exactly how much money you paid for this super chat. Like, my eyes see 3,000. No, that's not, I don't think YouTube will let you do that. So I'm going to pump my brakes. I'm not going to buy a used car right now on eBay. But either, whatever it is, thank you. Very much appreciate it. I don't know what the translation is for sure. But thank you no matter what. I think the third act of the movie was the most impacted during production by the whole shakeup with the firing of Melissa Barrera and stuff. It felt really underdeveloped and rushed. Other than that, I enjoyed the movie. I think you might be fucking spot on. Like, so let's think about it. Kevin Williamson was involved with Scream 6, with the production or whatever, and he said that he had no idea what was going on with the Melissa Barrera stuff. They called him after all that stuff had happened. So, whatever that means is that he kind of had to come in fresh with a whole new thing. And it had to be a mess. Coming into someone's playground and doing that shit, it had to be a fucking mess. Like, so you're right. And they had to get the movie started. They had to get into production. Like Matt Guy said, it was a $500,000 rewrite. That had to be hard. So I guess we'll never know, but it felt rushed. I love the fucking movie. I love this movie, and I love that it exists. And it could have been perfect. It could have been the greatest movie. It could have been the best Scream sequel since 2. Maybe it still was, but like, yeah. I agree it felt rushed. There's just no denying it. There's no denying it. Love the rest of the movie, though. And it had that sauce. Maybe it was Nev. Maybe it was Kevin Williamson. Maybe it was both of them. It had the sauce despite that. Could you imagine this ending without the first 3 acts that followed it being as bad as the ending was? Yikes. Scottish Firefox. Thank you very much. Says, I would say for the most part, the movie was pretty damn good. Pretty good, however, the movie was based on Sydney with Tatum, not Tatum with Sydney. So her friends weren't supposed to be that important, in my opinion. Maybe wrong, but who knows? No, like, ow, hella, you just scratched the piss out of my legs, girl. Damn. I think you guys missed that, but my dog just fucking ghost-faced my legs with her claw paws. Right. No, I agree with you. And that's why I was fine with it in the end. Like, her friends weren't supposed to matter that much. But at some point, this franchise has got to get to a point where they create really special new characters. It's not about pulling out Jenna Ortega's and putting them in the audience. It's about creating Matthew Lillards. It's about creating Skeet Ulrichs. It's about creating those type of characters, Randys. And I think they need to start doing that a little bit. And they may have done that with Tatum. But I think it could use some fresh blood that doesn't feel like, I don't know, it doesn't feel, I don't know how to explain it, You see the teens in these movies. Chad was pretty good. Chad's a pretty good start in that. So they've gotten close. It's kind of hard to figure out. Haunted Horizon says, Anyone else realize at the beginning they mentioned the Stu sighting at the Windsor College party, which was also a direct reference to Matthew Lillard having a small cameo at the party in Scream 2? I didn't notice that. And this is one of the main reasons I love doing these spoiler streams and stuff with you guys, because you guys are fucking awesome. Not going to do the John Campea thing and pretend that just because we have a YouTube channel, we know everything. You guys are the fucking best about coming up with that shit that I never even noticed or thought of. It's as hard as I'm trying to pay attention, and I am hard. But no, I didn't notice that until everybody said it, and then that's fucking dope, dude. Again, it's just another fucking inching and slowly inching towards goddamn Lillard being alive. Mocker being alive. That's what I would say. Yeah. Woo-wee! Sorry. I've never talked this much in my whole life. Total Wint says Scream 8, Leslie Mocker, Scream 9, Stu. I'm not waiting until Scream 9. I want it now. If they want to do Leslie Mocker, they should have done it this time. But no, could happen. A lot of people thought Leslie Mocker was going to be this time. A lot of people thought that for sure. I have hemorrhoids, and that's unfortunate. I've had them before. It's not great, but I love you. And Stu is definitely the killer in 8. He looks real. I think it's a ruse. I think it's a fucking Andrew Garfield fucking ruse to make us think that it's not going to happen. And good on them. Good on fucking them. Like I said, I'll sit here the next 2 years and eat shit. But if you think I'm not going to throw a fucking party when it actually happens, you're sorely mistaken. And even if it doesn't, I'm just happy we got him in this movie. That's my main takeaway. Mooba 1992. Hi, Mike. Just want to say I recently discovered your channel and you're my new favorite movie reviewer. Matt, dude, thank you. Very much appreciate that so much. And I want to say thank you to all you guys for being so kind on my movie review of Scream 7. Listen, I got home from that and I was going to wait till the next day and I was just so fucking chinged up, like just so fucking excited to talk about it. I had to do it that night and I was up to like 2 a.m. had to take the girls to school the next day. I'm not complaining. I wanted to, and it was fucking awesome. And I got a bunch of people shitting on it. Like, yeah, that movie sucked. You're an asshole. And that's good too. But like, I really appreciate that some people are like, hey, you're like the only person who liked this movie. Like, that could be a bad thing in some people's eyes, but I think time will be kinder to it. I do. I think time will be kinder to it. Nick Mathis, thanks, buddy, says, I'd like more rainstorms in the Scream franchise. Add a Scream 7 ending vibe to that, and the killer reveal would be the Weatherman Sid saw on TV earlier. Like, Weatherman or fucking no. You just brought up a really great point. Have we ever had a Scream attacker during a thunderstorm minus Sydney's dream about her mother in Scream 3, which is the scariest part of Scream 3 for sure, other than Courtney Cox's bangs? I think there was lightning in that scene. It's a really good point, dude. I don't think we've ever had thunderstorm ambiance in a fucking Scream movie. Excellently said. And I will carry that with me because that's a good fucking point. Yeah. I just tried to speak mid-drink. Cabbage. I don't like it, but I've had it. The main Ghostface tries to kill Sid to end the cycle and stop future attacks. The main Ghostface secretly murders other Ghostface, chasing her throughout the film. I made a joke about this in the video I did earlier. Like, what if Mark's parents, who are watching the twins in Denver, I thought it was weird that they specifically said they were in Denver. Maybe they have some ideas, but they specifically said they were in Denver. What if Mark's parents are the next Ghostface, the grandparents? Because they're like, we realized something. Our grandbabies are never going to be safe as long as that woman's around. And our baby Mark, never going to be safe either. So we're going to have an elderly Ghostface doubles pair up. And they're going to try to kill Sydney to save their grandbabies and Mark. It's silly shit and it'll never happen, but honestly, the motive is pretty fucking sound. Like, not in real life, but like in a Scream movie, you'd be like, yeah, if I was Sydney's grandparents, I get where you're coming from. Or I was Sydney's husband's parents, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a silly bitch, but it makes sense. Bro Wilco, have my money for that sick John Campea burn. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I don't understand it. There's some people that just do this that I don't understand. I don't understand why anybody watches me. Don't get me wrong. I have fucking no idea why people watch us. We're degenerates. Fucking absolute degenerates. But I also don't understand why in the fuck people watch some people they watch on here. I have hemorrhoids. God damn it, you keep making me say it. Love the shot of Ghostface showing up behind Tatum in the coffee scene. Yes, dude. Before capturing her. I also think Stu killed Hannah. He gutted Casey too. Maybe I think Stu killed Dewey. At least I thought Stu killed Dewey because it makes no sense that Amber did. After this movie, I'm not so sure. But dude, that shot in the coffee shop was so good. And again, watch it again, you guys, because she knocks down one ghost face, another one pops up behind her, and he zooms the camera, and then you just hear a woman screaming, and it reminds me so much of the opening to the original Scream. And it's the kind of shit I fucking loved about this movie. Andrew! 8. Cult of Stu, with a Stu Lives cliffhanger at the end. 9. Final showdown with Stu. 10. New nightmare to close the franchise. You just made me horny. 6 to midnight. Scream 6 to Scream 10. At least. I love that idea. That's an awesome fucking idea. All right? It just is. Chris Buston. Buston makes him feel good. I hate to admit this, but I drew a blank at the opening and didn't know the answer to the questions about Elm Street. Dude, that makes me laugh so hard because I knew Tina Gray. Okay, no, I'm not going to lie to you people. I knew Tina. All right? When he said fucking, when that motherfucker said Tina Gray, I was like, all right, good on you. Good on you for having the fucking, the last name. I forgot the last name as well. What was the next one? I didn't know the people on the stairs either. I love the people under the stairs, dude. I fucking, yeah, Daniel. Tina. I love the people under the stairs. And I forgot that chick's fucking name for sure. And I knew that Jason's age was fucked up, but I would have never been able to answer that either. All right, I'm going to have to mute you now, sir, with the ridiculousness. It's weird. People are weird. But yeah, same. Don't feel bad. Same. I do this for a fucking living. I would have fucking failed that shit. Wild Willie. Scream 8 killer. Stu. Scream 9. Melissa Barrera. I would have loved that a few months ago. Like a few months ago, I would have loved that. These Melissa Barrera freaks have pissed me off so much now that, and her like egging it on, you know, with like, I see you, and like the comments that she says, I'm like, all right. Like I was like one of her biggest supporters when she was getting shit on after Scream 5. And I'm just over it, you know? I would have been so down for that. And I'm just over it now. I'm like, nah. Just brought a bunch of douchery to this thing. Michael Parton says, Campy also thinks James Gunn will leave DC. I think he'll be forced out of DC, Michael. Nah. Bro Wilco says, now we need a Dead Man's Curve sequel with Lillard. Oh, dude, the Curve fucking rocks. Can I tell you this? All people in here right now, if you're hankering for some fucking stew, you didn't get what you wanted, go and watch The Curve with Matthew Lillard or Dead Man's Curve. It is straight up 90s Scream ripoff, Lillard stew greatness. You will thank me later. It's not great as a whole, but it's fucking great. Tank Void, again, with the very confusing conversion. Thank you no matter what. I hope they bring Sam and Tara back. As Billy Loomis's daughter, I was loving her arc in Scream 6, where she was turning to the dark side, so to speak. Imagine a team up between Samantha Carpenter and Stu Macher for Scream 8. That would be bonkers. Okay, 3,000 is around $2 USD. Love from Argentina. Hey, dude, it's just fucking cool that you're watching all the way from Argentina. Like, hell yeah, man. I didn't even consider that at first. That's mind-blowing. Thank you for the 2 Argentinian fucking dollars. Argentina! I'm in Kentucky. Argentina! That's cool, man. That's awesome. For the same reason I just said, I wouldn't want to see that a couple years ago. I'd have been all into it. I don't now because I've just been soiled on the whole thing by people. But it would be a wild fucking storyline, man. An absolutely wild fucking storyline. Thanks so much, man. I can't imagine what time it is there, by the way. While Willie says Scream 10, Detective Kincaid, Ghostface versus new Mark. Someone said that the other Mark should be the killer this time, and I was like, you trying to replace me with another guy named Mark? Patrick Dempsey being the killer, being pissed. It'd be fucking hilarious. Jordan Talks Film says, fuck John Campea. He said it's his top 3 worst movies of all time. Hey, he can feel that if he wants to. Is he... I guess it wouldn't surprise... Is he one of like the... Oh, fuck this movie because of Melissa Barrera and I'm not going to give an honest opinion like a lot of the Rotten Tomatoes people? Is that what it is? If he just feels that way, then hey. But is that what it is? Is it a fake shitting on the movie because of the Melissa Barrera stuff? Because I've seen a lot of reviewers have that too. And it's like, get a new job. Write about politics. Shut up. Zach Dominique, what's that gutter? 6098. Scream 8, killer, Stu's sister. All right, Scream 8, I'm gonna resettle. Scream 8, killer, is Stu's sister. Her son's killed. Life was never normal. Her home turned into a museum. Brother used as AI. Sid caused it all. That's a good point. I said in the video I did earlier, like, Stu's going to get fucking pissed if he's still alive when he sees people are fucking killing in his name using AI, and they're calling him out, and Gail's calling him a little bitch. But just as well, if you want to go the Leslie Mocker angle and say she's pissed with people shitting on her brother's name, you know, just as well. Just as well. So that makes sense as well. Pro Wilco says, do you think radio silence could ever return? It's absolutely, it could happen. I'm not sure they'd want to. I'm not sure if it's... They did a good job, you know? It wouldn't excite me right now with what I just saw. But, like, they did a good job, so I think it could happen. That guy has hemorrhoids, says, the whole time Ghostface was hunting Sydney and Tatum in their house, I was on the edge of my seat. It was great. Also, Ghostface dying from Gail early on was awesome. Totally agreed, man. Totally agreed. And that's what I'm saying, like, Scream 5 and 6 were great. I enjoyed it. It was made by people who love the franchise and did a great job with everything from the soundtrack to the beats to the music notes, all of it. When I watched Scream 7, I didn't realize the things that I missed until I saw them. When I watched the fucking house scene and how intense that was and how edge of my seat that I was in the fight sequences, I was like, oh my God, I didn't even realize I missed this. But I was fucking euphoric. You know? Like, that was some special shit. And they did a great job with 5 and 6, but it was not the same. And they did such a great job that I didn't notice it until I saw the real thing in person. Pro Wilco says, don't forget Cherry Falls. Cherry Falls, great Scream ripoff, as was Disturbing Behavior. So many great Scream. I used to do a series called Just Like Scream. That's just reviewing movies that are like Scream. And it was a good time. And that's one of them. Muma 1992 says, I'm curious if I can ask, what's the best part and most difficult part about being a movie reviewer online? You want to hear something 90s talking about Scream movies and shit like this? This is what's playing in my earphones right now. Well, it's Ziploc by Lit. Just absolute 90s. We're in the fucking zone now. Look at me. The zone. The most difficult part about being a movie reviewer online, I honestly don't suffer anymore. It's absolutely not having anyone give a shit about your opinion. And that's not something that's on us. Like, starting out, like, I could not imagine... We've been doing this for around 15 years or something like that. And people go out every day and have the balls to make videos, and they just go into the ether, and like 3 people see them, and they risk embarrassment on Facebook or their families and things like that just to do what they love. That's the hardest part. We did that so fucking long ago and did weird shit and are strange people that it worked out, you know. Obviously we're not Jeremy Johns or fucking Dead Meat or anything like that, but it worked out in a way that I'm very happy with. But that's the hardest part. Movie reviewing, just the fact that you might have the greatest fucking movie review that anybody's ever heard and the coolest opinion and ideas, and it's just impossible to break through just doing movie reviews because of old fucks that have been there for forever, like us. Nobody watches our movie reviews for the most part, so that doesn't really count. But apart from that, it's nothing. Just doing the movie reviews. It's just really fun. Talk about movies. Fucking awesome. Being successful doing it. That's the fucking shitty part. Berserker. Do you want to suck my cock, Berserker? First super chat. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Saw Scream 7 twice and went to Scaradicio. I didn't know that was a thing. It sounds fucking cool. I met Dewey and Kirby. Fuck. I told him wrong guy died. Wasn't able to meet Stu. Do you think Tatum and the twins could start a new generation? By the way, I fucking love that you told Dewey wrong kid died. Obviously, he has no idea where that came from. My wife met him wearing a Stu Lives shirt. And Danielle Harris. And I think when she was like, yeah, my husband does We Watch the Movie, and Danielle Harris like stopped being kind to her. So I think that said something. But oh, dude, it'd be so cool to meet Kirby too. I don't think Tatum and the twins are going to do it. I didn't see a huge chemistry with Tatum and the twins. Like, I think they were going for that. I didn't really feel a huge chemistry between them, though, you know? I don't know why, but I just didn't see it, you know? But it's a good question, and maybe they can make that work. This guy who has hemorrhoids says, I don't understand the hate for 7. It was great. I loved it too, man. But expectations will just wreck a fandom, you know? And we all had huge expectations, and in the ending, just threw a big wrench in there for sure. Take Void, thanks again. Last night I watched Scream 6 again and compared it to 7. The third act looks like a masterpiece to me now. It was good before, but now I appreciate the climax moment even more. Also, why the hell Kirby didn't come back for 7? I low-key hated that. I think it was just too full, and I think they wanted to get away from what they did in Scream 5. In Scream 5, it was just so packed in, and like as Kevin Williamson said multiple times, they didn't write Sydney a good part in that movie. They just had her show up. And she wanted a good, solid part, like something to act on. And they gave her that in this. And I just don't think there was room for Kirby in that. But I think I would watch the fuck out of a Kirby spinoff. And maybe that's the route to go. Colton, I love you. Favorite Scream 7 song? Where does Scream 7 rank for you? I gotta plead the fifth on the second one. I gotta watch Scream 5 again because I'm real confused about my ranking when it comes to these two movies specifically. Scream 7 and Scream 5, brother. My favorite Scream 7 song thus far, I don't know where the fucking album is or if you can listen to the whole thing. But favorite Scream 7 song, apart from Sydney's Lament returning, is absolutely Sweco, Rearranging Scars. Fucking banger. Sounds like some Creed type shit that would be on Scream 3. Rearranging Scars is the best song in the past 3 Scream movies, I feel like. I fucking dig that shit, even if it's for the youngins. Mateo Masulian, 38. Is Stu being alive plotline completely off the table? I feel like Scream 7 took a lot of suspense, like the psych ward and paperwork missing, or can they explain how Stu has been behind the scenes? Absolutely. I think they moved the needle forward with the paperwork being missing. And I think this is a complete misdirect. For sure. I think they knew that in the beginning, and that's why they announced Matthew Lillard coming back without trying to hide it whatsoever. Let's make it blaringly obvious in this movie that he's going to be back. And then maybe see how it turns out, see how the audience, the real audience, not that shitty test screening, reacts to it. And then let's literally do the antithesis to what Scream 7 was, which is Scream 8 will be a movie that has nothing to do about Stu whatsoever. And then at the end, he's the reveal. Let's shock the shit out of people with a great fucking reveal for once. And that's what they need. And I think that may be what pulls the trigger. Bone Lady, I gotta say I'm new. I'm from Kentucky and can't wait to join the fan club. Mainly because you won me over on the come on the kick drum, come. Gary, on the kick drum, come. Welcome, by the way. There will be so many breakup references on this show. Baby wants 12 lemons, baby gets 12 lemons. Fucking love that movie. And I love that you found us that way. And welcome to the shit show. It is a shit show. I am going to answer, before I do anything, John X Dragon, who says, what do you think of Ben Tatum's boyfriend? I saw a theory he could have faked his death and returned as a killer for 8. Do you think it's possible? Hey, he got a lot of knives in the gut. He got stabbed many times and just wasn't that interesting to return, in my opinion. He looked like Gerard Way in My Chemical Romance, circa the Black Parade years when they had the blonde hair. And I did think he had one good moment when Chad was like, "Yeah, it's the boyfriend," and he was like, "Well, mommies always think it's the boyfriend," and Chad was like, "Ew," and he was like, he had a good line there. And I liked when he looked at Sydney and he was like, "I'm a good guy," and she's like, "Get the fuck out." But apart from that, I think he was absolutely perfect at the role he played. But I don't think there's any more to that. Yeah, could be wrong. Could be wrong. Hey, look at this morose motherfucker right here, Cody Leach, who I heard that this guy, he goes to Mad Monster just because he loves Kevin Spacey. that's if you know, you know. That's just the joke. But should Luc Besson direct a Scream movie? Yes, but I would like it to be the all children's version. It would be like we should do it on Disney, and I just want him to have an all youth cast so that Luc Besson can really, the worse I go into this, the worse it's going to be. Fuck you for coming in so late in the stream and saying something like that, so that I can get myself in trouble. Yeah, if you know, you know. Say it with me, everyone. Weird dudes with mustaches, just don't trust them, especially if their name's praised in the shadows of the cock. Fuck that guy. Yeah, anyways. Hey, I gotta make sure the ring's on the right finger. You know what that means. You know what that means. I got some I got a couple of stream elements to get to. Before I get to those, I got to release my pee from my body because I've held it for a real long time. Normally I have Jay to fill these spots for me, but enjoy the background and nothingness. I'll return quite quick, and we'll end this bitch together like the women we are. Did you guys look at my legs? You better not have. What? Dog. I stole this dog from a homeless person. No, I'm just... Stop licking so much. You lick too much. All right, where were we? What are we doing? I apologize. It's weird when you have to pee during a stream when you're by yourself. I never consider that when Jay's not here. You know what I mean? There's just no one here. Just stare at my carpet. John X Dragon. I firmly believe no matter what, they must bring back Kevin Williamson to direct again. It's helped keep things at ease when bringing back Campbell. I agree, dude. I wouldn't go as far to say, hey, like, you know, some people say, hey, if there's no Robert Englund, no Freddy Krueger. I wouldn't say that. But I really hope it's him. I really hope it's him, especially after the nuances from the original Scream that we haven't seen in so much time be brought back again. We have a thing called Stream Elements. And again, guys, I know that there's a lot of people that are Scream-centric here. Every single Wednesday, we go live and do this at 8 p.m. Eastern and talk about all the movie news of the week. And we have a thing on Stream Elements where you can donate and have your super chat read on the channel without YouTube taking their sick fucking 30%. And that's what we do on Stream Elements. And that's where I'm at now. And there's a link in the chat for that. Jacob, who has an amazing band. Hi, old friend. Saw it twice, loved it more the second time. The reveal, while underwhelming, didn't bother me too much because it felt Sid beat the fuck out of Jessica for being so underwhelming. Dude, that's the most beautiful way of looking at it that I've ever heard in my life. It felt even after Fuck Them Boycotters. Love you, dude. New album out now. I can't wait to listen to it, dude. Got your email. Cannot wait to listen to it. Jacob brings up a great point. Not only does he have a cool fucking name, how can I... No, I didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to double share the... Fuck. All right, well... Sorry about that. Here we go. Jacob has a good point. And I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but dude, the fucking fight at the end between Nev and Jessica was really good and underrated. Like, it was brutal and really well done. So, Doogie Blair says, Miss Voorhees was a terrific serial killer, and there's always room for Candyman's daughter. She's sweet, she's deadly, she's bad for your teeth. I love you, Doogie. Fucking love that guy. Opie says, did you see what Nev Campbell wore to the Scream 7 premiere? She wore that three-piece businessman suit and tie. You know she got paid to be wearing the boss man suit. She had the Vince McMahon type of fit. It was clean. Like, she was doing the fucking walk that... I can't do it, but... the walk Vince McMahon does. She looked good, man. I did see that. I did notice that, by the way. JT Customs. And by the way, Nev looks great, doesn't she? She looks fucking awesome. JT Customs says, saw it on Friday. The movie was fine, but wish was better. This is the story of my life, bro. Love the stuff with Sid, Tatum, and Mark. Opening was cool, and the reveal was bad. I agree. The Stu stuff was fun. There was 3 kids in one car and 2 in the other to see Hembry. Gail's camera was under the TV. So you're talking about the possibility Stu's body was switched out. Hey, man, all that takes is some guy reaching over and turning the camera around. You know what I mean? As far as that part goes. But I agree with you on the rest of the stuff. You know, JT said it very succinctly. The opening was awesome. I wish the end was better. And the Stu stuff was fun. And I couldn't agree more. Matt Roberts said, I went to pee right before the asylum scene and my girlfriend told me what happened. So at the end, when Ethan Embry pulled his mask off, I looked at her and said, who the fuck is that guy? I legit thought they made Ghostface someone we hadn't even seen. I love you, Matt. Who the fuck is that guy? I could not imagine. And one thing you missed from that scene is his whole explanation that Stu was John Doe and all that stuff. And the only reason that he said that is because he was in on it. But I'm actually glad he was in on it from that perspective, because that would have been a huge plot hole if Stu was actually back. Like, he's not that scarred up. You're going to tell me everyone knows the Stab movies? Sydney's boyfriend can literally quote the entire bedroom scene from the Stab movies, but no one recognizes Stu? That'd be ridiculous. Abel. Worst thing about Scream 7 were the boycotters. Agreed. They almost made me dislike Melissa Barrera, even though she didn't do anything to make me dislike her. And half the boycotters do not support her or see her movies like Abigail. They cry more than Melissa ever did. Now listen. You had me do the fucking Poison. Now listen. I agreed like 90% of the time. My only problem with Melissa Barrera is that these fucking sicko douchebags were literally threatening to, like, you know, bomb theaters and shit like that and kill people's kids. And she did not one time come out and say, hey, don't say that. Or, hey, that's not me. Or, hey, that's not what I stand for. Instead, she kind of gassed him up a little bit from behind the scenes. So I do judge her a little bit of that. And again, this is coming from someone who defended the fuck out of her in Scream 5 and stuff like that. So, Yeah, I'm a little soured on her, but I agree. They're fucking miserable, miserable humans. If they're even humans, they may be bots. Damien, Mike, I was on Twitter for 5 minutes and got flooded with Scream BS. I tried to defend you, and I also had my own battles. I was called a bot for liking the movie. But yet bots have objectives, not opinions. I was called racist for liking Scream 7, and I'm black. Damien, yeah, fucking Twitter, man. Twitter. Hey, I appreciate the support. But yeah, it's miserable. I got to get my ass off there. I got to get my white fucking ass off of Twitter, to be honest with you. It brings me nothing but misery. I don't know why I do it. It's literally an addiction. I get sucked in arguing with these people and fighting with them. And literally, I get along with everybody I ever come across in human life. I don't have a fucking problem with anyone ever. But I get on Twitter and 5 seconds in, I'm like, I'm going to spend my fucking day on this motherfucker right here. So maybe it's just Twitter, dude. You know? It's not us. It's just Twitter. Cody Buchanan says, I gave Scream 7 an 8 out of 10. I love the opening, hate the ending. Some parts I thought maybe Tatum was the killer, how her and Sydney argue about her past and wish McKenna Grace had more time in the movie. I thought we didn't get to know Tatum's friends much. And, you know, I mentioned that, Cody, like, one of the disappointments I had about the movie is, like, there's so much going on in the franchise these days. The friends on the periph don't have room to shine like a Randy or a character like that would have back then. You're 100% right. But there was so much going on. I never suspected Tatum to be the killer because just so much was spoiled and whatnot. So, that's interesting. That's an interesting take. That would have been a fucking huge swing. But McKenna Grace, I think she was kind of she was like a Casey Becker light. You know, she's a big name, didn't have a big part, killed early, but it would have been too obvious to kill her in the opening scene. You know, the girl in the opening scene was actually really good, like a good actress. I could see her carrying a Scream movie herself. She was so good. So I hope that gets her more roles. But right on, man. Man of Tomorrow says, Mike, I love you, brother. I love you too, buddy. Me and the wife, of course, saw Scream 7 this past weekend, and I overall gave it a 7 out of 10. It was honestly my favorite Scream since 2, but damn, I didn't like the killer reveal. Didn't hate it, though. Favorite Stu quote, love ya. Oh, dude, listen, I have... I wrote them down. I wrote them the fuck down. There was a couple of them, and I have to pull this up because... there's some underrated Stu quotes in this. It all happened so fast, you know? Trying to pull it up here if I can. Fucking internet's being weird as shit. Anyway, my internet's going crazy. I can't pull it up for whatever reason. But no, there's multiple ones, dude. I loved it when he made fun of them talking. They would say something, they'd be like, oh, really? And do that Stu thing. And I liked when he had the line where he's like, I'm here at our high school, and just the way that he said that. And then when he was talking to Gail, and he's like, sorry that your show got canceled. Or he's like, sorry you got fired. And she's like, no, my contract ran out. And he's like, really? I really don't care. Like, I couldn't care less. Almost every line he had was so good, dude. Like, is the internet fucking up again? Oh, no, it was that version of it. Sorry. A lot of tabs open. Favorite Stu line overall? Favorite Stu quote ever? I think it's got to be, you hit me with a phone dick. Maybe. My mom and dad are going to be so mad at me. It's pretty fucking great too, but you hit me with a phone dick. It's fucking top notch. Yeah, I don't know what's going on the internet, man. Is the video feed at least okay? Shit. Thanks. Hell yeah. Love you too, buddy. Greg says, Boycotter still trying to take down Scream 7 is hilarious. It's over. It's over. Throw the damn towel. The movie's successful. They try to say Scream 7 over succeeded, but the movie performed as expected, and if cultists cared that much, why don't they go protest every new Paramount film? Dude, if they cared, Greg, they would just, instead of spewing their turd shit all over the internet, they would actually just at least share a link to donate to the war, to what's going on. They don't. They're 12-year-olds who are obsessed with Jenna Ortega and then by proxy obsessed with Melissa Barrera. And they said, oh, shit, we get to call people fucking lovers of genocide if they don't agree with us? Hell yeah, let's go. Let's fucking do this shit. I think I'll devote my fat life to it. And that's what they actually did. So fuck those people. Clearly, the internet's not real life, and we learned that yet again. Austin says, if things keep going like this, the Scream 12 reveal will be the redneck coach from The Waterboy that likes to see almost naked. I like to see almost naked. Tiffany, hey Mike, how are you? So if you could write Scream 8, I'm great by the way. Having a great night thanks to you guys. If you could write Scream 8 and choose a new Ghostface to accompany Stu as the second Ghostface, with no AI involved, of course, who would it be and why? Why would you choose them? Stu alone would be my preference, but if Stu was going to be with anyone, I'm not going to pull out anybody from the past. You know, I think pulling one person from the past is enough. Stu, if you had to pick someone to be with him, I need the fucking sheriff, dude. The sheriff from Scream. Because he's going to be like, I faked my death with some help, and he's just going to come out like whatever he looks like now. I hope he's still alive if he's not. Just smoking a cigarette, still wearing the sheriff's outfit, and like, he just seems like a grimy motherfucker. Like I could see that guy helping Stu get out of it. So I'll say that for now. Because I'm having trouble thinking about who else fucking survived that I would want to actually bring back. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. That would be a weird one. Ryan West says, which franchise does family better, Scream or Fast and the Furious? Family. Talk about family. I'm gonna say Fast and Furious because I've only seen 2. BB says Carl did the opening kills. Remember they tried to make Anna Camp's son Lucas a red herring by having him ask for 4 espresso shots as coffee as if he had a long night. Oh, I didn't even put that together, man. That's so smart. I didn't even put that together. So he needs the 4 espresso shots. Then Carl gets his coffee and he looks tired. He did. He looked tired and redneck and like Rob Zombie's best friend. So I can see that. Dude, it's such a good point. Austin. Hey, Mike. So Scream 7 for me is a mixed bag. Walked out of it really liking it, but over time I've come to see the flaws of this movie. To sum up, the killer reveal and the motivation were the weakest part of this film. And for me, they should just half. I see what you're saying. So you had a different experience. I think most people hated it because they had expectations and will go back and watch it and realize the nuances that they should have liked more. In your case, it was the opposite, which I totally get. He said they should just stick with Stu as alive because they basically breadcrumb the whole movie to give you decent explanations of how he could be alive just to pull the rug from underneath you and say, nah, psych, he's actually dead. Here's the real killers. I totally agree with that. I hope they make up for it by having him the killer in 8. And I've already explained that, but I agree. It was right fucking there, bro. They had it set up. They had a good setup. It was right fucking there. To know they filmed it kills me. But I thought the Ghostface kills were brutal. This Ghostface was awesome, hiding in the shadows and everything. I did love the story of Sidney and Tatum. I will at least say this movie's better than SLC Punk 2 because that movie's dog water. Brother, I've never even fucking tried to watch that, nor Donnie Darko 2. Some movies should not have sequels. I could not agree more. Alex, thanks, buddy. I gotta take a sip. My throat is dead. Whew. Alex says 8 opening had Gail researching Stu's death paperwork. Ghostface rams her car on the way to the hospital to talk with Sid, kills Gail in a fight. Ending reveals Stu and explains the cult killers in 7. Give the fans what they want. Helps explain 7. Ending and ends Sid's story. I like the way you did that, Eric. I love that opening. Because at some point they got to go figure that out, right? If we're going to continue our lives, hey, like maybe we should close this Lou fucking... Maybe we should close this this Stu poll. Barb says, Mike, I've seen so many reviews that didn't love it. I was thrilled to see you so hyped over yours. I've loved your channel for over 3 years now, and it's a Scream lover's happy place. Just thank you. Thank you, Barb. And honest to God, really thank you guys for that because I was so pumped about this movie. I didn't even think about anybody else's reactions to it. Not like a lot of the time, like I will shit on a movie like Predator Badlands. I thought it was doo-doo water. And I caught so much shit for that. And maybe I don't understand something about that those people loved. And I just think that this is one of those movies that I have the same problems in some aspects that other people do. But overall, it was just a fucking treat. And maybe you have to have a certain kind of mindset for Scream for that. And I understand both sides of it, but I'm really happy to have people like you that maybe think, no, I'm not fucking crazy for loving it. Lisa Serial List serial. We always fuck that up. I think I'm in the minority, but I like the parasocial aspect. It opens the door for anyone to be Ghostface now. Cult of Ghostface. I agree. There is a parasocial thing to it. To what she said specifically in the killer reveal, where she's like, hey, you went away and I didn't know what to do. That whole aspect, they should have written it better. They should have made it more fucking obvious. But you're right. It is there. I could not agree more. Lisa or Lisa. We should remember that. At some point, I fucking will. Greg says, saw some people trying to say Scream 7 is going to be Fast and the Furious now, but those people never even knew there was a new Scream. This is nothing like how the Fast and the Furious franchise has become a completely different shell of itself. Scream 7 is the same formula. Dude, yeah, Fast and the Furious is always like more, right? Dude, they just made a 10th fucking Saw movie. Are we really going to be this hard on Scream? How many bad fucking, how many bad Saw movies are there? A lot. They're on 10 movies, and they just had one of the best in the franchise. So, like, people like, that's the one thing I can't stand. Two things I can't stand. If you want to say the movie sucks, movie sucks. Totally respect your opinion. The people that piss me off are the people that start those reviews with hashtag free Melissa Barrera. Or on the flip side, this franchise needs to end. I'm sick of these movies. Bitch, why are you reviewing it? Why are you going to the theater to watch a movie of a franchise you fucking hate? You don't see my ass reviewing Fast and the Furious movies, do you? No, you don't, because that would be unfair. Because I think they're turd shit by now. But Fast and the Furious is meant to bigger. This movie said, we're going to go smaller, you know? And I respect that. So, but yeah. Roy said every Saw movie's good. I'm not trying to shit on Saw. I'm just saying, like, people act, these reviews are like, the franchise needs to die. And I'm like, really? This is the franchise that needs to die? Of all the horror franchises that have gone on and on and on? Come on. Really? Come on. You got to be kidding me. Let's see where we were. Over here. Sorry, give me 1 second. I want to make sure we pick up where we popped off here. Mateo Samuelson, thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. It says Stu returns as the main Ghostface, dies, but of course there's another Ghostface. So Stu returns and dies, but there's another Ghostface. And as Stu dies, he laughs and says to Sid or her daughter, "You're not the only one who gets a sequel." Ooh, that's a spicy fucking line right there. That's a spicy meatball. And the Ghostface that escapes is Stu's son. We're getting a little Indiana Jones Jr.-ish with that, but the drama of it, it's like the Predator laughing before he explodes. So I dig it. Thanks, man. Pro Wilco says, so Tatum's boyfriend messed around with the Stu AI, but did he actually record himself saying he was going to kill her? Or did someone else mess with his computer? The only way, they poorly explain that for sure. The only way I take that, though, is that, like, he was just fucking around with it, and he got a little bit too, like, he started having too much fun with doing, like, the bukak and shit like that, and it was just an awkward, terrible moment, because he's a teenager. Of course he's going to be immature and do dumb shit. But that's given a lot of credence. I can't argue with people complaining about that. This guy who has hemorrhoids says that fans want Stu, bring him back alive. Come on, Kevin, we do. Fuck that test screening audience, man. Fuck them in their stupid buns. Excuse me. John says, I firmly believe no matter what, they must get back Kevin Williamson to direct again. It's helped keep things at ease when bringing back Campbell. And I think that's where we left off last time. And I could not agree more. I could not agree more at all. Like, fucking yeah, dude. I think that needs to happen. I want to see a full Kevin Williamson thing happen. You know? I want to see it. And I think we've reached the end of the stream. Have we? Have we done it all? This is crazy. This is fucking crazy. Almost 600 people in here. Almost got to 700 at one point. Talking about Scream 7. Tell me this franchise is not alive and well. Tell me it's not alive and well. It's fucking awesome. And I'm not exactly done yet because I have some things to say, but I'm just, dude, taking my teenager to go see Scream 7 in the theater, and she didn't even like it as much as I did. She knew how excited I was, but like, dude, franchise is alive and well, and let's just, hey man, let's look at Nightmare on Elm Street. Look at Friday the 13th. It may not be perfect. It may not be the exact film we wanted. They may have teased the stuff that we hoped would happen. I think the reason we're so upset about this movie is because it touched greatness. Like, it had it. It was fucking there. It was right there. And I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I love this movie, and it's going to be pretty high in my ranking, which is going to come out in a couple days. But I'm going to be thankful. I'm going to be thankful of two things. One, that we got a Scream 7 that wasn't direct ass. It wasn't dog shit. We didn't get a Hellraiser Revelations. The Weinsteins aren't involved. All the people with a boycott. You should Google fucking Harvey Weinstein and what was going on in the background of some of those movies, by the way. But, you know, we didn't get a fucking shithole movie. We got a movie that disappointed some people, and that's fair because it had a lot of hype behind it. But we got a quality movie. You might not like it. The ending may not have been the best, but it was a quality movie. And I'm thankful as fuck that not only did we get that, but we got to see Matthew Lillard return in the role of Stumacher and, in my opinion, fucking crush it. It would have been so heartbreaking if he didn't pull that off. And I understand why he was nervous about it. Because he really has to go for it in that role, you know? And I thought he crushed it. And I'm just thankful for that. So I'm thankful for this movie. I'm thankful for that. And I'm really fucking thankful for you guys. This has fucking been crazy. The amount of support and all the people here. And fucking love you guys, man. I love you guys so much. This has been so much fun. And Gage says, Scream 8, Tara and Sam come back as two ghost faces in Scream 8 and go after Sydney for not being in New York, but they are motivated by Stu, and he is revealed at the end of the third. Now that's Fast and the Furious. You're pulling out the holy shit package now. This is G.I. Joe 7. But I love it. Like, I'm not saying it would work. I'm just saying, like, I love the shit you can do with this franchise. That's why it's so special. You can just pull out some wild shit and be like, fuck it, why not? But anyways, happy fucking Monday, man. You guys made mine great. You guys made my day great. So I really, really appreciate you guys hanging out and appreciate every single one of you. It's fucking awesome to talk about movies. And shout out Craven Something Scary, who's no longer with us. And really wish that he could experience this movie. And shout out Wes Craven and shout out this fucking movie. And shout out to all you guys. Love you guys so fucking much. And we'll see you guys Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you don't come to those, give it a try. Stick the tip in. Ouch, ouch, you're on my hair. See how it feels. I love you guys so much. Thanks for all the support and for your friendship and for talking about Scream with me. It's fucking awesome. Love you guys. Good night.